Welcome to Through the Wire.
Through the wire, the boys are back in town.
And no, KB would not be coming in, as y'all have seen plenty of times when
The
he come in
boy
late.
is out of town.
For
He
real.
enjoying his honeymoon from his great wedding that he had this weekend.
Yeah, man. KB is on a honeymoon.
His first vacation ever.
Is it?
Yeah,
Because he went to Toronto for a wedding.
but I wouldn't consider.
Yeah, that's
I
not
wouldn't
no
really
vacation,
consider that vacation.
He
just
was
'cause-
out there vibing.
I guess.
This is like legit.
Like he's going out there just with no responsibilities, no expectation. He's just chilling.
True.
And I love the little room and place he in. It's amazing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, phenomenal.
All the videos he sent, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. If you want to hear us talk about the wedding and everything that occurred and the wedding stories, make sure you stay and you watch the full podcast. Eventually, we'll get there. What I want to do and make sure that we do is stay on topic of the basketball conversations that are going on around the NBA.
Because it's juicy right now.
It is. It's a little juicy. First and foremost, though, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Especially with everything going on, it feels like it's been a very dry off season. And right now, we got a lot of shit to talk about.
How are you feeling, though?
I'm feeling good. No, I'm really good. I'm feeling excited.
You hungry?
No, I'm not hungry.
You ate?
I did eat.
What
I
you
had a
eat?
sausage and cheddar from Starbucks this morning.
Ooh. You ever had one of those, Mike?
I feel like he doesn't
Nah.
rub me as a Starbucks guy.
I'm not the biggest Starbucks guy either. 'Cause
I
don't
get the
like
strawberry
caffeine.
lemonade Akai's.
Oh, the
And
strawberry
I
lemonade.
get them frozen.
See, he a smart man.
How do you pronounce that? It ain't a
It's a acai.
Oh.
acai.
I say Akai, they know exactly what I be talking about.
Acai.
They be like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, rookie.
I mean, I be
Rookie.
saying, I be going in there too. Something about something. Let me get a large. Let me get a medium. I don't
Oh,
say
you
none
don't
of
say the
other
grande,
shit.
I say
venti?
venti. I ain't gonna lie. I say venti.
All three of those measurements mean large.
What I say?
It's tall, grande, and then venti.
I
Those-
say venti.
yeah. Those are all large measurements if you think about it. Like a tall,
But
They
the
are.
grande is not as
a
big.
grande is like medium.
This is a
but
grande.
grande literally means
Yeah.
large in
A
Spanish.
tall is like smaller than this. I don't even know how
But
small.
why-
That's-
I've never
I-
got
my
no
way
taller
don't
But
than
my
make
problem
sense,
is the fact
though.
that they use all big words to
Right,
describe.
to describe.
Yeah.
To trick you. So if you're first get that tall, you like, okay, I'm finna get some big shit, and it's like this. Now you like, damn. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of thirsty to get back home. Get back on Madden. I've been waiting a long time for that to drop.
I feel the same way, man. I've been in my streaming bag heavy doing the college football revamped, and every day I don't get a chance to do it, I be fiending to get back on that shit.
Yeah. Do y'all enjoy football games a lot?
I enjoy the
I
college
know
football
Mike
one.
because he plays it all the time.
I don't enjoy Madden as much as I used to, just because of how the game is. No shot at Mike, but I knew it was over for me when in Madden, where Mike admittedly wasn't into football. He's way more into football now, but I remember when he first was getting into it, he didn't know it, but he still found a way to be good.
Oh yeah.
And I just feel like some of these games, you have to have some ideology of what's going on. If that
Yeah,
makes
because
sense.
like on 2K, you can't just queue up a game on like quick play and then just play good if you've never played 2K or know anything about basketball. Because like you wouldn't know what
I
players
think
are
it's
good
more
at
so
or none
just
of
like
that.
the knowledge of the actual sport. Because when I first started Madden, I was dead ass.
Yeah,
But like, it's more so that I didn't know who the fuck Mike Evan was, but like a week later, I was in that bitch busting PA.
he was pressing pressing.
But
him.
Tyler don't really know shit about basketball, but he's decent at 2K.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, I feel like 2K is not as worse as Madden, because I think Madden, as far as IQ, not Madden, as far as football versus basketball, there is more IQ-ness, in my opinion, on a football field than a basketball field.
Oh yeah.
It's not to downplay basketball, because obviously that's my love, but I think it's a lot more harder to read a zone coverage that's being disguised as a man-to-man defense versus basketball. It's just like, okay, very rarely is anybody playing zone in the NBA level. Maybe they'll play zone on 2K, which again, some other shit to complain about, because nobody's running 2-3 zone in the NBA like that. It's probably you have Miami Heat or certain defenses running certain disguise zones, but a straight up high school 2-3 that they have in the game does not get ran, or 3-2, whatever. That's a lot more easier to dissect. It's only 5 people. You can isolate, but when you have different coverages, you got
four people rushing at you, or whoever
Yeah.
amount of people rushing at you.
then you got shit on Madden where like I can pull back my whole line. Who does that?
Or like pull
You
back
talking
your
about the
D line
D-line?
and coverage.
Yeah.
Oh what? People do that?
Yes.
Jalen, I had a rivalry going with Jalen and Madden. He would rush 2 people. He get into the quarterback. It don't
That
make
don't even
no
make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
They rushing
doesn't
too
make
and then
sense.
using the rest of them in their zone.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching, but I've played against people back when I used to play. Like a lot of games, I don't play online no more because it get too toxic.
Motherfuckers be
because
trying too hard.
I'm not as invested. When I was a kid, I was one of those. Well, not when I was a kid. When I was a little younger, I definitely used to be one of those people. We would play on my team and we would go online and try to go undefeated. I used to be playing toxic and having motherfuckers mad.
And like that's everybody's goal is obviously to be the best they can, but I feel like that doesn't benefit just like the general user experience because you have to try in every game.
You have to, yeah. And the older I get, the less. I probably not even older. I don't want to put age to it, but I guess the more busier we get and bigger we get with the podcast, sometimes I just literally want to play the game to just enjoy my experience, to just have
Just a chill
outlet.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to be sitting up mad, angry. Man, what the I don't want to be doing that. So a lot of times it's like, man, I'll just and that's why I like college football revamp. I just play the game. I'm controlling it. We just having fun. I can go recruit some players. It ain't so much like it's the championship. And I feel like because everything has become digital, everybody has a chance to be good. You can Google how to be good in 2K right now.
Yeah, you definitely can YouTube that.
You can Google the best defenses to use in Madden right now.
I just
You can
Google how to play
Google-
MLB The Show.
You could probably Google some shit with Call of Duty. Yeah, you can see what the top dudes is putting on
What
their
the top
guns.
guns, yeah, what the
Yeah.
top attachments are.
So once
yeah.
when we were growing up, not to sound old because we're not that damn old, but we used to have to like
You
just
just
figure
try
it
to
out.
figure it out.
you'd have to
Yeah.
play the game. I remember like on Call of Duty, you would just always like they had a kill cam. You could just see nigga
Yeah.
rocking stopping power, nigga
Facts.
rocking this.
I think that's some of the best conversations too. We always had those conversations on guys who used to be OP on 2K, but you only knew that because you had to play. 2K12, we didn't have a YouTube channel or Twitter where we had certain accounts telling you all the OP players. Oh man, this guy's only a gold, but he's really good. No. Motherfuckers, who was your guy, Andrew Gallagher, or who was,
I was about to say, ain't nobody tell me. Yeah,
you had to just
me and
figure that
Kyron
out.
was hooping
Yeah.
with Andrew Gallagher. He was
Orlando
6'8"
Johnson.
overall.
Orlando Johnson from the Pacers. You had to just figure that out. Gerald Green, that's the
Oh,
one that's
man.
like everybody knows Gerald Green was OP now for a guy that was only probably like a 76. But like you had to go figure that out. That's just like
That's that just knowledge of the game.
Or Jimmy Butler before he became.
If I'm on
He had the
mud
easy jump.
Yeah.
and I'm trying to be like, man, I need a dude that's gonna be fast, but I don't got no money. But like, I know there's a dude on the Vikings who fastest, or I know that the dude on the Chiefs, he already got 90 plus speed, and he don't even got to be a damn goal. But
Yeah.
I know because it's just like I know the cards,
for
I know
sure.
the people.
But I feel like that element in gaming is lost because it's like you have channels that'll tell you who's the best budget cards and you know who is this guy, and then
And them card prices be going up.
going right up. So it's like, yeah, it's just not the same. But drop the mic before you dive into this juicy NBA talk.
Before I do the drop the mic, I wanted to do an announcement. I told y'all what I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing an aux battle on my Twitch stream. If you don't know my Twitch, it's Mike Ben here. Same as my Twitter. It's 50 Cent versus Kanye. So make sure you tune
That's
into
the
that
night.
tomorrow.
Make sure
Wednesday-
y'all get there. I'm making sure if the only thing that'll stop me from not being there is if I'm streaming. And if I'm streaming, I'll probably just be in a Discord. But I'm tuned in. I might have my stream watch your stream of you streaming it.
So Wednesday tomorrow Wednesday at 7, we're gonna be doing aux battle.
Prediction.
I feel like
It's
Kanye
tough
gonna win, but 50
because you-
Cent got it, bro. Like he can definitely match up with it.
The thing that's tough for me is we don't know the representatives yet.
Yeah,
And-
we're looking for. So how we're gonna orchestrate it is 5 rounds, but the people that are gonna be picking the songs are we're gonna find 2 representatives for each artist, and the chat is gonna pick which song wins the round. So we'll be going through. We got 5 rounds. If you want to hear more and be involved, and
Join that Discord.
Yep, join the Discord and make sure you're there 7:00 tomorrow.
But yeah, I think that's a big element because if the wrong person could get 50 Cent
Yeah.
or the wrong person could get Kanye, and it's like,
So
I'm
we
playing
had-
my favorite
we did a
song.
practice with Meek Mill and Big Shine today. Tyrese was representing.
Tyrese Maxey fan.
Yeah, and we Philly, all
Philly.
that type of shit. So we had Meek Mill.
He played Dreams of Nightmare.
No, he didn't.
Not once.
No.
My point proven. My point proven.
Did he lose?
It was one song. There was like a song that he's been featured on, like who's got a feature on, and he picked one song that people was just like, "Come on, bro." I had a sub in for him and pick a song for him.
Did he do? He did corny like generic something like "Amen" with Drake.
He ain't do that.
I'm a boss.
I subbed in and put in "I'm a Boss" for him. He talking about I was gonna save it for the last. I don't remember what bullshit he played, but
What you saving a song for?
Meek still went undefeated though, and I guess
Wait,
that's
what
just,
songs? I'm so confused.
I'm trying to think what he had on there. I gotta
Please
save
look some of that up. Did he play Levels?
No,
Oh my gosh.
no. He had Going Bad on there with Drake.
Oh, so yeah, he playing. How old is Tyrese Maxey
I
fan?
think he like it. I think he's still in high school. It's probably like 16, 17.
Did he play All Eyes on You?
He did. He did.
He is petty as hell. He played All Eyes on You and not did he play Rico?
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Okay. See, yeah, so I got to see who the representatives is before I make a vote because I definitely think the wrong person could have the right artist. Because if you going, what would you play if you had 5 Kanye songs? What you diving into? If you represented Kanye for tomorrow's stream,
Let's go through the wire.
okay.
All the lights got to be on there.
Yeah, I would put all the lights. I would also put let's go Champions.
Wait, Champion or Champions?
Champion.
With like your Champion on
Oh,
graduation.
graduation.
Yeah, on Graduation.
Okay.
Because
he got a song with like Champions. With
yeah,
like,
with like 5. It was like 7 different artists on there. Yeah. Hold on, let me look at because it's no, not Heartless.
I'm looking at his top songs on Spotify.
Is Jesus Walks going on here?
this is what I'm saying. That I feel like those are good songs you picking.
I feel like I also would
He got.
be looking
What about
at the
Flashing Lights?
I love Flashing Lights.
Heartless,
or Niggas
I
in Paris.
Wondered. Yeah, Niggas in Paris is definitely might have to get paid. That shit got over 1 billion streams.
Because you got to match who you going against. So
Yeah.
it's Kanye and 50.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this. I'll play Mini Man. What you responding to with that?
Because
you can't tell me you playing Through the Wire against Mini Man. I think I win that one.
so this is also a spot where it can't be no features, right? Because I was gonna put Monster.
Or just do.
I might do Can't Tell Me Nothing.
That would be a good one.
Yeah,
That would be a good one. Okay, now I do In the Club.
in the club, I would have to respond with that with. Hold on, I'm just with Gold Digger.
Okay.
PIMP.
Okay, you going PIMP? I would have to go with. Let's see, Niggas in Paris.
But that
I'm
is
definitely taking PIP over Niggas in Paris.
you are.
I am. Yeah.
If you doing that, then I'm doing the one with the game. Since we doing features, I'm gonna do
Hey, did I love it?
Good Life.
How We Do.
Good Life
How
with
We Do?
T-Pain.
Oh, with T-Pain.
Mhm.
But he just did
Oh,
his
he-
feature song
He already
with
did. So he did a
Jay-Z.
solo song.
So wait, what song am I now responding to?
I don't know if you respond. I responded to you because you did the Niggas in Paris, the feature with Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
So I did the one with the game. Yeah, it's just that's the point I'm making though. Like,
You gotta match it. That's
You
why I
gotta
like the
match it,
fact.
yeah.
I like it that the chat is gonna be picking on which song was better.
and I ain't even get into the real. I would have at the end. I would have played some big shit to get you to throw your big guns out the way. Then I'm doing What Up Gangsta, because it's a lot of shit. It could be advantages. You got to also remember to whoever goes first, the first round, the other person go
Alternated.
because then you would have to make me match Kanye's tempo instead of him always having to match 50's aggression. So yeah, drop the mic though.
Okay, the drop the mic is which late game or which late career transformation was your favorite? So which player, just for example, throwing out there, you can say like Jason Kidd.
That's literally what I was going
I was
to
gonna say like a Jason Kidd type player who eventually got his jump shot.
Shooting threes.
Yep,
Yeah.
something like that.
Late transformation. Jason Kidd was like the number one guy that came to my head because his ability to shoot the 3 ball just came out of nowhere.
Recent Brooke Lopez.
That's
Brooke
the
Lopez,
first one
yeah.
that came in my mind, but I was trying to think of something a little bit before that because it is so recent.
Could you say Andre Iguodala kind of and like coming off the bench?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
Andre Iguodala,
He
yeah.
definitely took that role. Sean Livingston.
Oh,
Sean Livingston was amazing.
I think Sean Livingston is a great answer because this is the guy who was a top pick.
Yeah.
He also got hurt. He had to rehab his knee back, a knee that they thought he was going to have to
He was never going to probably be able to play again.
And then he had to just kind of go. He went from making teams to coming off the bench and having a role to then being like an actual featured piece on a championship team.
Teams literally used to have to plan for Sean Livingston coming off of the bench because he was such a mismatch for the opposing
But between
team.
all of that, there's like a bunch of teams he played for that people probably don't even remember because he was just trying to get back into the league.
Yeah.
My two favorite stops was the Warriors and then the Brooklyn Nets. But he also played for like the Bobcats. He played for the Wizards. He played for the Cavs.
I remember the Cavs.
Like that's a lot of shit that get lost in between when he got back relevant. Like those years of just grinding, trying to just stay on a team and fight for rotational minutes. I'm trying to think of other guys.
Blake Griffin, one of my favorite.
But I felt like his was Blake Griffin with Detroit. He changed his game a little bit, but then it seemed like after Detroit there was just like a big drop off.
It's like the old just bouncing around.
Yeah, he just really was. Yeah,
I feel that.
I feel like Melo didn't get a proper chance to showcase that he could really transform his game. I feel like with Portland he did do it, but then the Lakers he showed a little bit, but then after that it's just like no one wants him.
So when we say transformation, we thinking of like Brook Lopez. Because he's still a starter.
I think it's just like
contributing to a winning team.
Change your game for like the better and just adapting too. So even if you were a number one pick and somehow you had to change up and you weren't no go-to guy, but you were a really good role player or something like that. I think that's just like the evolution.
Andrew Wiggins went from being looked at to be a number one option.
The one difference is he's young. He said a late career.
Oh, you're right.
He said late career transformation.
Yep. For even him though, I think that's still because
him and Aaron Gordon are obvious when you talk about transforming, but when you said late in career, that's what made it more challenging because now you're thinking of like Sean Livingston, Brook Lopez, a guy who was once a star, but then conformed to being a backup point guard, or you know what I mean, like if Kyle Lowry or like if Chris Paul came off the bench for the Warriors and like really propelled them, it would be like, oh, late in his career, Chris Paul became a great backup point guard. That would just be like, oh shit, what the hell? But a lot of guys,
late in his career, Andre Miller was still pretty good as a backup PG.
Who?
Andre Miller.
He always just been solid.
Yeah.
Like he's always been like.
What about Ray Allen?
Oh yeah,
he was a star, first option, and then he just became into a really good sharpshooter.
Yeah, Ray Allen is perfect. Honestly, he honestly might be the best one at it.
Yeah, I think shooters should be able to transition a lot better. Now what do we think about it?
Because he went from like dunking, handling the ball to like being like just a pure sniper from three. So I think
Andrew Bogut.
Oh,
Andrew Bogut was a first overall pick to the Milwaukee Bucks out of Utah, and then he became just like or Marc Gasol. You know, Marc Gasol with the Raptors wasn't prime Marc Gasol.
Yeah,
Pau Gasol with the Bulls.
Even Marc Gasol with the Lakers was still
It's a lot of like people you could put up.
It's a bunch of people we forgetting too.
It is. I'm sure they're gonna flood the comments.
Yeah, they're gonna. Because I'm trying to think of
some guys. I'm trying to think of some guys too.
Somebody that I'm trying to think of somebody who was once a star.
Vince Carter like went into like a good quality role player type role later in his career.
What about the opposite of that question?
I was just about to ask that.
Like who fell off?
Because Zach LaVine went from being a role player to being like the star.
No. When I say opposite, I mean he's saying
like they started off really good, but then they
fizzled out because they couldn't transform. So like
somebody that started low and ended up high.
No. Started high and went low.
The opposite. So, for example, no disrespect, great phenomenal player, but like when you look at Monte Ellis, Monte Ellis was a guy, and then once teams was like, we don't know if we can build winning teams with Monte as the featured guy, Monte kind of fizzled out. Because it's like if Monte can't have a certain amount of shots, he's not prioritized a certain amount of offense. He's an undersized shooting guard, 6'1" shooting guard. How do we utilize him? And once teams kind of, it ain't like Monte became some 6 man of the year. So it's just like
for a stretch, because he came back. I kind of want to say Dwight Howard because he took so long to kind of accept that role.
True,
but he did come back eventually and ended up winning a championship.
But I agree with what you're saying. If he committed to that role, because it was a time when we first started the podcast where he was just hopping on a fucking new team every year.
Motherfucker played on the Hornets.
Yeah, on the Hornets, Hawks. Did he play for the Wizards?
No.
Okay. Yeah, he played for the Hornets.
Dwight?
Hawks.
I think Dwight did play for the Wizards.
Let's see. Yeah, for some reason.
If he did, then that's crazy.
Let me look up. But yeah,
you know, when you said Monte Ellis, I don't know what made me think of him, but Kevin Martin came to mind because I feel like he just kind of fell out.
Yeah.
He ain't really fuck with playing with OKC. I remember when he left OKC. He was like, it feel good to be on the team that passed the ball now. He went to like the
I forgot he had went to OKC. He was kind of like their shooter for a minute.
Dwight definitely played for
the Wizards.
He went from Houston to Atlanta to Charlotte to Washington to the Lakers to Philly to the all back-to-back years.
Because it was an interview where he was talking about how he had said that the Wizards could win a championship if they allowed him to get healthy, and then they traded him before he could get healthy. So like, and
him, John Wall, yeah, I did see the clip of that. I didn't see the whole interview, but I did see the clip of that. Oh man, but yeah, the last team he played consecutive years on was that Houston team with James Harden. After that, the rest of his career, he played for a new team every single year, just hopping around. It seemed like whoever could give him. Yeah, he only played 9 games with the Wizards this year. So he
told them to wait until I get healthy.
To get healthy.
And then they said,
who else are some guys that kind of just like they was on top, but once it couldn't.
Could you even go like guys that were like Andrea Bargnani? He was drafted high, but then he didn't end up living up to that expectation of being that high.
Now we just
But I will state he ain't fizzled out because he still bounced around as just like a stretch 5. He just ain't live up to the hype.
Oh,
but
DeMarcus Cousins.
I was trying not to equate injuries.
It's not his fault. I wouldn't put. It's not DeMarcus.
Yeah,
it is true.
Because like if that you could use Grant Hill too.
Grant Hill. No.
Well, he played really good, but then like he the injury slowed him down from like.
He would be a guy we used to the first. Grant Hill transformed his career and later was playing with those Suns teams. He played for that Clippers team. I remember. Grant Hill, for a guy that had a really bad ankle injury in the middle of his career, he bounced back and played an additional 5, 6 seasons of real strong basketball. So
yeah, I guess.
So like, imagine if DeMarcus Cousins next year came back into the league and played 5 more years as a really good center.
Well, Stephen A. Smith says he's a top 5 center right now.
He lost me when he said right now. I haven't seen DeMarcus Cousins play at that high level. No. I'm not saying it's impossible. But
now if he would have said Prime Boogie,
yes,
Prime
Boogie is top 3.
Yeah, top 3.
Joel, Jokic, Boogie,
and they would probably be fighting. It would not fighting. I think Jokic would still be the consensus number 1
for sure. And Embiid after this MVP season would probably be number 2.
Yeah,
but don't get Boogie fucked up. If Boogie requested a trade in his prime out of the Kings.
Should we be seeing Joel Embiid and Jokic bring the ball up the floor between the legs to like half court, make a pass to the guard? Boogie was doing that shit.
Yeah. He was just OC.
That's my only argument with the people on Twitter. Like, people on Twitter was getting mad because people were saying that the prime Boogie would wash and be way better than Jokic and Embiid. That's definitely an exaggeration. But to try to then they took that and the response was to shit on Boogie. Like, Boogie couldn't hoop. Like, Boogie ain't played for the terrible-ass Kings organization for all of his career, really, in his prime, and then had the unfortunate injuries. Chill. Because Boogie and AD, with a little bit more time and some more health, I think they would have been a little bit better.
I would have loved to see Boogie with the type of attitude that he had. I remember, I'll never forget, I forget who they played, but Isaiah Thomas was
Chris Paul.
It was Chris Paul. He went to go shake his hand or something like that. He pulled him away.
Yeah.
To have like one of the best players in the league have that type of mentality and attitude.
That's Russell Westbrook type.
That shit. I would love to see that.
Or what if Prime Boogie played with the Warriors? What if the Warriors got Prime Boogie when he went over there like, I'm a warrior? What if that was the Prime Boogie?
That would have been crazy because it would have been funny to see him transition into that like organized.
That's how you know how good he was. Because Twitter was crying all fucking week after that signing. Oh man, look what the NBA.
I want to remember right. They was talking about like if he really played like that, like they gonna have to worry about paying him too if they want to.
Yeah, because he signed.
He signed basically a minimum.
They didn't play him right when he was on the Warriors.
He was also hurt.
That too.
He was coming off the Achilles shit. Then he finally came back and hurt his quad. I'll never forget that. His quad was like sticking out.
I remember he was supposed to play for us and he got hurt like right before the season.
Was supposed to play for y'all. Yeah. He went to the Nuggets. Yeah.
So we could just jump right into the James Harden situation.
I didn't
man.
even know how to prep this.
Yeah. I mean, I could just go right into the quotes. So it had came out originally
okay, I'm sorry. Let me not interrupt you.
Oh, no. It had came out that James Harden wanted to learn long-term contract, and Harden was unhappy with Daryl Morey over the fact that he wasn't getting a long-term contract offer. And then it came out that James Harden no longer wanted to play for the Sixers.
Facts.
And that's how that happened. And then last night, was it last night? Or was it? It happened
yesterday morning.
Yeah, yesterday morning, because James Harden's in China, so the time frame is a little different. James Harden's at a basketball camp, and in front of all his campers talking, he said, Daryl Morey is a liar. I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. And then, let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he is a part of.
He's reading his quote. Darrick is not saying let him say it again.
Yeah.
James Harden said,
let me say it again.
I'm glad he put the reiteration on there, bro. It sounded like he's like, man, I got to make sure the cameras and all the mics hear this. Let me say this shit again.
That shit was crazy, bro. I woke up and I just did not know what I was watching.
I didn't think it was real.
He's in
At first,
China.
I didn't see the video. I seen the quote, and I thought it was like NBA, one of those fake ass NBA Central tweets, or had tweeted it out, and I was like, ain't no way.
I woke up and I went on Twitter and it was right there.
Yeah,
so
it
I
was
saw
right
the
there.
video 1st, but I'm just like, I didn't know if he was joking. Then he reiterated and said, "Let me say it again." Daryl Morey is. I'm like, what? And then I realized he was in China doing an Adidas press run. I'm like, them people in the crowd, like, what the hell are you talking about?
A lot of people was talking about how like it was coordinated too, because he's in China, and a couple years ago, China wasn't messing with Daryl Morey.
Oh wow!
And so they're saying like now China, like he kind of got them on his back too.
But now Daryl Morey apparently isn't
supporting him.
even moved by James Harden's comments and is still planning on bringing him back.
Is that a lie too?
No, it probably ain't a lie, but I also read that James Harden will not report to
Training camp.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we've seen that before with Philadelphia and Daryl Morey.
Bro, I said a couple months ago, I'm like, any situation where James Harden doesn't feel like he wants to be in a situation, it's just not gonna end well. Trying to drag him out.
James Harden
And
at
if
this point doesn't seem like a disgruntled star that you just kind of make shit work with.
Both of them, Daryl Morey and James Harden, they seem like
Prideful?
prideful and just stubborn. Like none of them wants to budge at all.
Both of them are gonna sit. There's gonna be a chess match on seeing who budges first.
But I will say, there's more at risk for Daryl Morey than
I was gonna
James
say,
Harden.
who's hurt? Who's getting hurt more for me?
Because giving away James Harden because he's upset or disgruntled or because he didn't get the contract he wanted, it will hurt Daryl Morey, because Daryl Morey's stock is in either bringing back James Harden and reconciling, which is not going to happen, it seems like,
Yes, no,
or
I feel like that's gonna be
trading
hard.
him and getting a good return to put next to Joel Embiid.
Mhm.
But to just get rid of him because he wants to go and not getting really what you want in return, getting Norman Powell
Mhm.
and fucking Schiffer and the
Batum or
Clippers.
some shit like
Yeah.
that. But
That's going to push Joel Embiid to the point where he could potentially be unhappy because you took all of these significant steps. You once had Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick on one team. You once had that. Then it went from you lose Jimmy, you bring back Tobias. Then you traded JJ Redick eventually. Then it was Ben, Tobias, Embiid, and good role players, PJ Tucker, whatever. No, PJ Tucker was
wasn't
not
on
there
there.
with Simmons. But they had good role players.
this one had Seth Curry, right?
Seth Curry, Drummond was the backup, I
Yeah.
think. And you might have had Robert Covington. But no, because you traded Robert Covington to get Jimmy Butler.
No, they didn't trade Robert Covington to get Jimmy Butler. They traded Jimmy Butler for Josh Richardson. That was just straight up.
No.
For as good as for
In
as long as
order
they
to
had
get
the-
Jimmy Butler
Oh, they traded
from
him.
Timberwolves,
Okay,
Robert Covington was traded.
okay, I see what you mean.
And so then Jimmy Butler got traded for Josh Richardson to the Heat.
Yeah,
Signed and traded the Heat. So boom, you got Josh Richardson. Point is, they had those guys, lost all of that. Then you lose Ben Simmons, and it's like, oh shit, it's cool we losing Ben Simmons because we got James fucking Harden anyway. Who James Harden said, I never wanted to go to Brooklyn. I always wanted to be in Philadelphia. And now,
it's kind of crazy that this team with their point guard situation, from having Ben Simmons, then him holding out, him getting upset with the team and not wanting to be a part of the organization because of comments they made. They trade him for another all-star caliber guard in James Harden. he plays a season, and then boom, he's not happy with his situation. Now he's like, what is they issue with this point guard position has been crazy because they cannot find a guy they found a guy that fits in James Harden. First, Ben Simmons didn't fit, and he was the fall guy for everything. Now you get a guy that fits perfectly with Joel Embiid. Now your situation is he's unhappy because he's being lied to. So it's like
he did. He did. It all started when he took that pay cut.
Yeah.
You know that Daryl Morey obviously had to kind of put on the table like, we're gonna eventually pay you or give you that money. Next season comes around, they don't want to give him no long year deal or nothing like that. Instead of them letting him walk, they say, hey, take your extension and we gonna trade you. And now that nothing's there, it's just like, nah, never mind, we finna come back. So I would feel like I was betrayed if I was James Harden.
Danny Green.
Oh. I would feel like, damn, like you kind of fucked me over right now, and I try to trust you with it.
Or the other thing that he could have lied about that I just saw was that he could have lied about getting Harden to opt in and trade him, but in theory, Morey wanted him to opt in just so he could
keep him.
Yeah, just so he can keep him, so he couldn't opt out.
Also, though, James Harden, there's incentive for James Harden to opt in too and get traded because the market wasn't there for him to really get paid.
Yeah.
So he's opting in and he's getting still what 30 to 39 to 40 million this year.
Yeah.
If he went an open market, how many teams that he wanted to go to?
That's why I think James Harden was like, okay, because he mostly wanted to go to the Clippers. Oh, that too, but I think like one of them was like the Clippers. Like he wanted to go somewhere else.
Yeah, he wanted to go to the Clippers once he realized the Rockets didn't have the mutual interest to sign him because the Rockets had all of that money, and it was that rumor of, man, they want to reunite. They want to reunite. It seems like it was real that James Harden was wanting to go back, but he wanted his deal. The Rockets looked at their situation and made a good decision of saying, our timelines don't fit, and it ain't that smart for us to invest that much money into James Harden, who probably won't complement our young players as much. Once that happened,
he looked at the Clippers and they barely and it surprisingly afforded Russell Westbrook
for sure
to get him to sign.
That's why the only reason they could get James Harden is via trade.
Yeah, and so that's why I think that he was kind of like, man, this might be my only route to get up out of here, like to a place that I really want to go if the Rockets don't have the money for me no more.
Because nobody in free agency outside of the Rockets he was probably interested in that had money.
Yeah.
And the only way he could leave was
to take a lesser deal than what he wanted.
Or was to opt in.
Oh, yeah, opt in? Yeah.
Because that way he knows he's making a certain amount of money. And he probably thought in his mind he was going to get traded. But I think the lie comes from not getting the max extension.
Yeah.
Which, this is why agents in the NBA is so cutthroat. And why all these teams be complaining about Clutch Sports and Rich Paul, because they're going to look out for themselves. And this is why the game get a little tricky, because you can't really do no favors, bro. You can't do favors, bro. It's rare where you could do a favor and the organization going to pay you back in return.
Yeah.
Who else tried to do it? Is that why Dwayne Wade ended up leaving the Miami Heat?
I think so, because he left as like a form of leverage type thing. Like, oh, y'all ain't gonna give me what I want, so I'm gonna leave.
Supposedly was doing them a favor, and then it came time for them to repay him back, and I don't think they did. And
so that's why he came to the Bulls.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go over here
because I always wanted to play for Chicago anyway.
Maybe Dirk did some hometown discounts, and they took care of him with the Mavericks. Obviously Kobe and the Lakers. I don't ever remember Kobe taking no fucking pay cut though. I'll tell you that.
Shit, it's Kobe Bryant. You anything you pay if you paying anybody, you paying Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to think of situations where I remember players being like they were supposed to do this for me and they didn't do it. The first one that comes to my mind is Dwayne Wade. But yeah, I think that's the dangerous part of like a motherfucker will say anything to get you to sign some paper.
Yeah,
anything. They'll promise you whatever, and they won't feel no way if it ain't in the writing in the contract. A motherfucker be like, man, yeah, I'll get you a Porsche. But as long as this ain't in that writing, they not gonna feel guilty when they don't deliver on that Porsche. People don't have is in this business shit, whether it's NBA.
You can't just take somebody's word for something.
Yeah, I never will.
What, bro?
Not in the podcasting world, not shit.
I don't see when does James Harden go to a team that's trying to compete and he's like happy? Because after they lose in the playoffs, which is probably like the most, that it's kind of inevitable at this point unless he gets them over the hump. But it's just like part of that is on him that he's not getting to where he wants to go to.
That's why for me, just from the James Harden perspective, I was good for him going to Houston.
Mhm.
Now I know it don't make sense
Me
for
too.
them, but it was like, okay, him going to Houston signifies this to us. James Harden is an incredible basketball talent who's an incredible bag chaser because he's gotten paid with the Adidas contract, all his contracts. But he just ain't winning. He not prioritizing winning. And that's fine as long as he accepts it and we know it, we can move on.
Yeah.
We don't have to have pretended all of these solutions for him to go to winning teams and playoffs and pair him up with this guy. And, man, all we need is a playoff run. It's like, nah, he's going to put up some good numbers. He's going to get his bag. And, hey, he might do something in the playoff. He might. But I feel like it takes the pressure off of him and of us, the viewer, waiting for something that's never going to happen. Let's just accept the fact of what it is. James Harden is a phenomenal basketball talent, and he can't.
It's something about them playoffs. He
Yeah.
can give you a game or something like that, but he's just not the same.
Would y'all look at him as like he's worth that 35 to 40 million still? When you know all the baggage that comes with having him?
I think it's just
Especially with the risk of him
it's
asking
your
out.
expectations, really.
Yeah, because him asking out seems like it's inevitable at some point if he's unhappy because he hasn't been happy at any stop.
Talent-wise, I wouldn't question it because this dude, even with his game taking a step back,
It was 21 and 10.
easily.
Yeah.
Lead the league in assists. I think with the right partner in crime, so to speak, on a team with him, he's going to give you some really valuable production.
Yeah, and Joel was like the perfect matchup for them.
You just have to question the playoffs. And after playing with a Brooklyn Nets team that had him, KD, Kyrie, after playing with a Houston team that did everything he asked, they went out and got Russell Westbrook. They went out and got Dwight Howard. They went out and got Chris Paul.
Went out and
They
put
went
PJ
out
Tucker at the
as
5.
a center. Like they did every single thing that they could. Mike D'Antoni, whatever.
The Clippers, if they could somehow get James Harden, he got the one thing that I feel like they desperately need, and they got a little bit Russell, but they need more of that Iron Man type things because Paul George and Kawhi, they gonna miss games at this
James
point.
Harden started to miss games too.
Yeah.
Though. He used to. I feel what you're saying. What he used to be, but it's a little minute from Houston where he was playing games and shit. James Harden is missing a lot of time with the hamstring shit is something that a lot of teams is considering too because it seems like this hamstring shit is a reoccurring, re-aggravating injury that always kind of pops up here and there for him. So
And it's like that was a big reason why that Brooklyn Big Three never really played together. They only played like 15 games together total.
They had a lot of shit going on.
they did.
They had a lot of shit going on.
And health
it
was a
wasn't
big
all
reason.
basketball.
No, yeah, it was a lot of health. Kyrie wasn't healthy. Harden wasn't healthy. Kyrie also sat out a big part. So, like, it was a lot going on over there.
I like him with the Clippers because there's so much going on there.
And I think Ty Lue could really handle that situation a lot.
So like, yeah, I don't know if I want to put anything on the shoulders of James Harden at this point in his career.
No.
And
Because there's
it's-
like a pecking order there immediately.
And it's the
Kawhi,
same
Paul
thing with the
George.
whole roster, though. I don't know if I want to put anything on Kawhi's shoulders at this point, or Paul George's, because it's always some shit. Somebody's always hurt or missing in it. So it's like instead of having to need Kawhi 82 games of the year or whatever, let's break this shit down. So if we don't have Kawhi, we at least have Russell, Paul George, and James Harden. If we don't have Paul George, we're going to have Kawhi, Harden, and Russell. Hey, if all hell break loose and we missing Kawhi and Paul George, we have James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
I love how Russell Westbrook is the lock.
He's
gonna
the lock.
be. He's
Russell
gonna be.
gonna play
He's
at
gonna be
least
there.
75 plus.
For sure. He's going to
Yeah.
be there. But it's like, yeah, this tandem, the most disappointing thing about them is not even the shortcomings. I know everybody's like, oh, they're supposed to have won a championship. They're supposed to take over LA. And yeah, that's the most ideal thing. But it's the fact that it's the question mark. I'd rather teams get put together and when they just fail and we can say, damn, they disappointed us. But with the Clippers, we just don't know.
We haven't seen them fully healthy.
We just don't know. I hate the question mark. I like to know, like, man, they just wasn't on shit. They just was fumbling. But this question mark of, man, Paul George took them to the Western Conference Finals by himself. What would it be if they had Kawhi? The way Kawhi was hooping last year in the playoffs against the Suns, what
if
would
they
it have
had
been if he
Bastrop?
had the whole
Yeah.
fucking
Shit,
series?
Russell got 30 plus out here. What if he had PG and Kawhi
Bro, you
with him?
feel me? Like, that's the most frustrating thing with them as a basketball fan is just not having
That what if?
that what if, that question mark. I'd rather them just fumble and get their ads bust healthy and we just like, oh, yeah, they just disappointed. But them not having the full team, it always leaves that question
Was the
mark. of
last
like,
time they were both there Was that in the bubble?
Yeah.
With the Denver Nuggets and
Yep.
yeah.
Which is so long
yeah.
ago. It's
It
like,
really is.
what the hell? The bubble is so far removed. That's a long time ago. Which they still was bogus as hell for that. I'm not taking that away. But they have a
They were
whole
up
new
3-1
team.
in that series.
They have a whole new coach.
Yeah. I think I always forget that they were up 3-1 in that series and they lost 3 straight.
You forget that?
Yeah, I forget that
All
part.
all you hear with Doc Rivers is 3-1 shit.
All you hear is that Paul George hit the side of the backboard.
Side of the
and shit.
backboard. But yeah,
Who does? Because it's the next thing you got to think about is Joel Embiid, though, right?
He took Philadelphia out of his bio this morning.
I think that's just him trolling. This is why I'm gonna be real with you.
You think he's trolling?
This is why I think he's lame. This is seriously why I think he's lame. I love him as a basketball player. I love his personality, but like on Twitter, to me, Joel Embiid on Twitter is lame because he does shit like that. And it's like, it used to be funny when you was new and young in the league. You're an MVP now. Like every time some shit happened, you don't have to. At any time, I'm Trolleo.
Part of that shit, I honestly don't think James Harden is even in this situation if they do better in the damn playoffs, really.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's both of them. They got to kind of look in the mirror, but it's just like, bro, y'all had plenty. We just went over several teams that they could have won. They had, what were they in the conference finals or semi-conference finals with Jimmy?
Yeah.
When they went against the Raptors, like they had
if they
very
hit
good
that clink,
teams.
clink shot, they go to the Western Conference Finals against the Bucks.
Eastern Conference.
Eastern
But they had so many good teams. Like, I don't know what you wanted. Like for James Harden, it's just like I'm gonna keep going to different teams until I figure out which one works. It's just like, bro, y'all have a team. There's teams that would literally die to have y'all type of teams.
Yeah.
And have y'all type of chance.
Y'all don't take that and think that there's a potential Joel Embiid requested trade this summer as well.
This summer, no. But eventually, yeah.
Mm.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm waiting for them to low key move James Harden because I'm looking at the Sixers like roster. I'm kind of just excluding James Harden anyway to start it off with. I don't mind they roast or like I don't mind they start
Tyrese
lining.
Maxey, DeAnthony Melton,
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid. Who fills the 3-4?
Be Tobias Harrison and
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
yeah. You got Pat Bev off the bench. You know he gonna be playing hard. He just fit that type
Paul
of
Reed.
mode. Paul Reed. I feel like they gonna be one of them games that still win like 45 plus, even if James Harden is kind of like in the midst of all this James Harden shit.
Yeah,
They can still win 45 plus games.
That's the problem.
What?
They've put themselves in a position where 45 wins don't do shit. This is a championship desired
Organization,
team and
yeah.
city.
And if you win 45 games and you get bounced in the first round, that shit don't really mean nothing.
Joel gone.
They passed 45 wins.
Yeah.
They've been doing that since Ben Simmons was a rookie. Like the first full year that Embiid and Ben
Yeah.
came together, it was a playoff team. This team, and organization has been fiending for a championship appearance, for an Eastern Conference Finals appearance.
Yeah.
So 45 wins don't do it no more. It don't
No.
cut it. And that's where the fear of Joel Embiid going elsewhere creeps up. He got his MVP. He's been all NBA. He's arguably the best center depending on who you ask. Everybody should be saying Jokic, but Philadelphia people may still say Embiid. He's played with Ben. He's played with Jimmy. He's played with Tobias. He's played with Harden. He's played with Maxey. He's played for Doc Rivers, Brett Brown, now Nick Nurse. That's another thing about this Philadelphia 76ers shit that don't get spoken about. They got a whole new coach, and it's not impossible to win with a new coach. But that first year always feels like a fill out.
Adjustment.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adjustment. This is a whole new coach.
New system.
Yeah, new way of thinking, new way of going about things, new everything. So you have to consider that, and that's why I say Joel on Twitter and on social media is lame. Because how many months ago was he talking about he'll play somewhere else? Remember that video?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he went on Twitter like, man, I was trolling. Y'all
Oh,
might be
yeah,
trolling. It's just like, bro, say it with your chest or shut the fuck up. He always saying or doing some shit and you don't know what to think of it, but then it's like he act like he trolling, but I also think part of it do be serious.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be mad at him.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't either.
I would not be mad at Joel Embiid if James Harden got traded or whatever, however this ends, and he's like really contemplating what his next move is because he's a very talented center, and Philadelphia just has not been I don't know. They just haven't been
Philly,
fortunate.
And Daryl Morey is looking for an elite player in return for James Harden.
Yeah.
And then he's not going to get it.
Luckily,
I'm pretty sure it's an elite player and multiple first-round picks or some shit like that.
Luckily, crazy. Ben Simmons became James Harden because there was a time where we didn't think Ben Simmons was going to get you a James Harden. We was more so thinking C.J. McCullough, Ant Simons, Anthony Simons, but we didn't think James. So like that just became because James Harden
also wanted out. And
I want out. Yeah,
they both wanted out at the same time. Both teams just mutually agreed.
This is since 2017. Just unfortunate circumstances for the Sixers. They traded for the number 1 pick, and they drafted Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum. And we know what happened with Fultz as a Sixer. He's a phenomenal player. He's back on track. Can't wait to see what Markelle will do this year with the Magic. 2018, they had the GM Twitter controversy where Colangelo was talking shit about his own players on a burner, all that drama. I don't even know if y'all remember that.
Yeah,
I remember.
Silly shit. 2019, they traded Jimmy Butler, which is his infamous Tobias Harris over me.
Yep.
2020, they fired Brett Brown, hired new coach, then new GM. 2021 was the Ben Simmons demands a trade. 2022, they were in an investigation with the NBA, and now 2023, James Harden demands a trade. So every year since 2017, and there's probably some shit that was happening before 2017. Nobody cared because they probably wasn't winning.
Yeah.
But there's been some shit every single year with this team, whether it's front office, locker room, player, trade, coach, GM. There's just always something going on.
And that's not championship pedigree. You can't build a championship DNA off of always having some bullshit going on every year.
And in the midst of all of that, I'm sure Embiid was making some type of trolling tweets. Trade Ben Simmons or demand he putting up the meme with the dude at the funeral. Somebody was on Twitter was like, Ben Simmons got a chance to, recreate the best.
Yeah, and just tweet that out.
Yeah.
Luckily, Ben, I don't think Ben.
Somebody's in the comments like, man, Ben Simmons ain't a loser like Joel Embiid, so he wouldn't do that. He's not even thinking about it. I'm like, y'all be going too hard, bro.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid's a loser now because he put a meme.
Ben Simmons literally in the playoffs posted a picture of him watching them lose in the playoffs. Yeah. Ben Simmons would definitely post a subtle jab at somebody if he really wants to.
I think the Ben Simmons should be funny though.
What?
Because he don't be on the court at all, but he's still gonna make fun of you. That motherfucker was nowhere near the damn court, but making fun of people in the playoffs.
I remember when him and Nurkic was at the free throw line, and he told Nurkic, you talk a whole lot of shit for being ass. That was
because he missed that free throw.
Yeah, that was prime Ben Simmons. I missed that one. I'm very excited to see Ben Simmons.
I keep seeing you keep tweeting out there that like if they get this Ben Simmons, they gonna be a lock for the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's a fact though.
He's that good. I don't think people realize how good he was. Just because that team ain't go far, that doesn't take away his talent. Have y'all seen any James Harden packages? No. Not really.
I seen the Clippers one. It was literally who you said Norman Powell, Nick Batum, and I think it was like a pick or something like that. I seen a lot of Clippers ones.
I think that's what James Harden is at right now, where it's like he wants to be paid, or he's going to try to, I'll just go home. He's from LA, so it's like he's just trying to get some comfort and get his money with a chance to potentially compete. But if we don't win, at least I'm at home. At least I'm getting paid. But I don't think James Harden is necessarily looking around the league on where he can win championships at.
Also saw something that if James Harden doesn't report to the Sixers by a certain time, that they could block him from signing to another team. Let me see where I saw that at.
Block him from signing? He's not a free agent, though.
No, like even like the next, like in the next offseason.
In the future? Because after his contract, he'd be able to sign. So, I don't.
Another fold to this
is just weird. Bro.
Another fold.
I've never seen some shit like this before, bro.
Is Kyrie responded to Adrian Wojnarowski saying, "Is he disgruntled, Adrian, or is he holding Daryl Morey accountable for his dishonesty and lack of transparency throughout the contract negotiation process this summer?" So it sounds like Kyrie is taking James Harden's side and is. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it kind of sounds like he's alluding to this. This ain't no shit that's like rare. Motherfuckers talk a whole lot of shit and give you a whole lot of promises. Then it's time to, get the promise, and it's like
I'm sure probably them Nets too. They didn't promise Kyrie some shit they couldn't fulfill, or it's just like they probably turn around and was like, nah, we not gonna do it this way.
Yeah,
and he probably feel the same way.
Some of that is self-inflicted on Kyrie though, because a lot of people look at Kyrie. Obviously, I don't. I'm a huge Kyrie fan, but some of the stuff that's happened over the last few years with Kyrie, I think teams probably consider and reconsider. They promise. So if you the Nets, and before all of this shit happened where he had to be suspended, you probably was promising him that you bring him back. But then all that shit happened, and it's a controversy. People offended. He got to miss a certain amount of time. That affects the season. And now you're probably like, yeah, we can't bring this back. And now, yeah, technically they didn't fulfill their promise, but you know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I did. So, in short, if Harden doesn't join the Sixers by November 2nd, the organizations can block him from signing with any other team next summer. And not just any other NBA team, any professional basketball team. And so any other basketball team that he tries to sign to, they can step in and block it just because he's on the last year of his deal and he's holding out.
He can't even go to Shanghai?
That boy say he going to retire.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to see who I feel for more. I feel like it's got to be the player because, like you said, he's just stuck in this situation now. At the end of the day, you could just go hoop, but he's
causing
you're literally
the situation.
You're doing.
I mean, he's not causing it, but like he's a part of the situation as well.
He is a part of the situation, but he literally, like, obviously the issue came up with the contract shit and everything. He literally requested a trade out, and he don't want to be in this situation. Everything like that, and you're just gonna be like, nah, we gonna try to get you to buy in, even though you know damn well that's exactly what he doesn't want to do. The last couple stops he been through hell and back trying to get off the damn team. And you're gonna be like the one team that's like, we gonna get it to work this time around.
I understand it though from Philly's perspective too. I don't want to just take him in for a bag of bones and just give him away because you're giving away an all-star caliber guard to a team that's gonna contend for a championship. You also are trying to contend for a championship as well, so you want something back in return that's gonna help you stay at that level.
I do.
I'm 50-50 because on one part of it, I would love for James Harden to have gotten what he wanted. And I think revisiting the conversation we had earlier, he probably could be calling him a liar too because it's like, okay, I want to request a trade. I'm going to opt in. We're going to figure out this trade. We'll move. That could have been a thing too where it's like, we're gonna work on to try to find you a spot once you opt in or whatnot. And then now they're taking that as we're going to try to convince them or we're going to force them to show up because we're going to have a price that's so high, teams are not going to match. We know damn well ain't nobody trading us no star player and 3 draft picks for no damn James Harden. And so James Harden and his agent are not looking at that like y'all are trying to put us in a position to where we have to stay because your asking price is a price that teams are going to pay. Number one, I'm on the last year of my deal. That's number one. I'm on the last fucking year of my deal. That in itself never lets teams get the full
return
unless that player commits to signing an extension with that team. Number one. Second, and if he went to a team like the Clippers, I don't know if he'd be able to sign an extension because where's their money even at? They would have to figure out a lot of shit to move around.
They didn't have the cap space.
Secondly, no, that's why they're trading for him.
Yeah.
Secondly, he ain't the same player. He just had a tough season. So it's like, but then at the same time, like he's saying, if I'm Daryl Morey, I can't just give you away because I have a guy like Joel Embiid that has to be on a team that has a chance to win. And if I can't do that, then he's going to potentially want out. And then that's a whole nother fucking situation. So I don't know. I feel for both sides.
It should seem inevitable at this point. Because if James Harden is mindset that he just don't want to play,
keeping him there for nothing, don't do shit.
He's not gonna. He's not gonna do anything. And the only thing he's gonna do is drive his value even more down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
He also the type to just show up on the court and just.
I was gonna say the November 2nd shit don't mean nothing to me because James Harden will show up there and drop a cool 7 points, 1 assist, and 3 turnovers.
Go through the motions.
Go through the motions, not do anything, and he gonna mope the whole time.
I remember that one play of him in Brooklyn where he let somebody come and grab the ball and just go dunk.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, bro. Uninterested James Harden is like that's worse than probably a cancer in the locker room because he'll literally go out there and not hoop. Like, it's literally that a motherfucker get the ball and just dunk. Like,
that's why he just seems like a disgruntled star that you don't want to just tolerate, or like you could just kind of tolerate or just deal with. You kind of just he's someone once he's not interested, you kind of just got to move on from it.
This is also scary for the Philadelphia 76ers because it seems like James Harden is willing to do anything he can to get out of there. That man was in China at a camp and said, turn on y'all cameras, and said, this muff is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization. Like, usually players send messages throughout to different media outlets and different things like that, but to go on camera and say what he said, and it's not a rumor. You heard me say it.
And he said, let me say it again.
That shit is crazy, bro. That shit is crazy. That's a sign of him. He was willing to do whatever the fuck he got to do. So I don't think that should have stopped. He ain't saying that, and then we ain't gonna hear from him. If he feel like he gotta apply some more pressure, his ass gonna have a fucking sit down with Rachel Nichols in a minute, talking about, man, this what happened. Like, this is what he lied about. Look, this is the text. You see that right there, Rachel? This is at 11:34. He sent that text right there. And
promising me this.
So
yeah, I don't know if James Harden is a disgruntled star.
I'm a little scared though, traded for James Harden, because it seemed like he always got that honeymoon phase, and after about a year or so, then it's just everything falls apart. Because I swear there's quotes where it's like, I think it was Tyrese Maxey came out, he's like, man, when James Harden is engaged, like one of the best teammates and like one of the best floor generals, and I feel like it was same thing when he got to Brooklyn. Like, I'm glad I'm here. I got a team I want to play for.
Bruce Brown was saying when he was there, James Harden was the guy for them, the leader.
And I feel like that's that honeymoon phase. But after some shit goes wrong and hits the fan, it's just not the same no more. It's a different James Harden.
I'm going to ask y'all this question. Do y'all think it's because of winning and the shortcomings? Do y'all think it's money? Or do y'all think James Harden got spoiled with being in Houston and everything revolving around him? Anybody who came to Houston when he was there, they did what it was about James Harden. Every stop he's going to since Houston, it's been him there for somebody else. The Nets is KD and Kyrie situation, mostly KD. So you're coming there to compliment KD. This shit revolves around him. You go to Philadelphia, that's Embiid's shit. This shit is revolving around him. Houston was the only spot that James Harden knew, this is my shit. We gonna go to practice. When I say we going to practice, the team playing leaving. When I say the team playing leaving, if they ask us what we want for fucking dinner, it's gonna be what I request. You know what I'm saying? Everything in this bitch is about me. This is my shit.
I think it's winning, really. I think the money.
Why was he interested going back to Houston?
I think that right there was interesting because that was just like an opportunity type thing. But for the most part, he wants to go to teams that have like the eligibility to compete.
Yeah, but that's why
the Clippers. Yeah, they're looking to compete, and he wants to try to get there and stuff like that. And I think that he knows himself that what he did in Houston, he can't replicate that. And I think he couldn't win with that either. Yeah. You know, what teams built around him. So I think that he's kind of evolved a little bit to more where he is at point. Like, he does get you 20, but he's looking to get players involved.
Yeah,
which I think is kind of like that evolution that he had. But he knows that like he needs a lot of help to get to that winning, to get to that championship.
That's why I don't really think it's a spoil. It could be a little bit because like he went from being the guy in Houston, but like he wants to go to the Clippers. If he goes to the Clippers again, he knows that that's Kawhi Leonard and Paul George's team.
The Sixers
yeah, he's gonna have a similar role. He's now like the third option now. He's no longer.
But I also look at that as I'm gonna just be back home. Mm-hmm. It's something in there for me. Because if it's about winning, he could just go back and play this final year with the 76ers. They're gonna have a chance. They're gonna have a chance. Him, Maxey, Harris, Tucker, Embiid. That team has a chance.
Yeah, they have a chance. But he also might look at that and think that what he saw on the court, that's probably all we got. And he probably feel like that there's another level that he probably feels like if he goes to the Clippers, now he has Paul George and Kawhi. He probably feels like that's a better look for him as a PG than for him to be just with him and Joel.
That's a crazy ass assumption.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at
the reason I say like
from a different view.
He don't just be like, let me go back to Philly. It's just because all the shit happened. But like I said, them performing better in the playoffs, they might have kind of evaded this. But again, I can't predict what happens with the contract and stuff like that.
But also, he's a big reason why they came up short in the playoffs.
Yeah, both of their best players had stints. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint.
I think it's a combination of all three.
I don't know.
I could literally see it being a combination.
Because if it's about winning, a lot of shit comes into question there. The Brooklyn Nets had an incredible team when he requested the trade. Mm-hmm. They had an incredible team. Yeah. If it's about winning, The Philadelphia 76ers have an incredible team. If it's about winning, and he asked for that coach to not be there, and they went out and got a new coach.
In this situation, I think it's strictly about money. I don't know what it is in Brook. I don't know what exactly it was in Brooklyn, but this situation with Philly is about the contract situation, and that's about money. Mm-hmm. And he feels like he was lied to about Daryl Morey.
Because if it's about money, you was getting paid in Brooklyn. If it's about winning, they had a winning team. Y'all was an inch away from going to the NBA Finals, and that was when you and Kyrie both was missing time because y'all was hurt. You was playing on one hamstring, and Kyrie was missing time because of his ankle, and y'all still was KD being an inch away behind that line to go into the NBA Finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Nope. You're right.
So you had that was his best chance of winning. He never been on a team like that ever. Yeah. The team that they lost to was the eventual champion. So y'all probably win that NBA Finals. If we be honest, y'all probably way too much going on for the fucking Suns if they was at full strength. If we talking about winning, if we talking about money, I guess, but it's just like I don't know, because at some point he got to understand he's not going to be a max player.
And also,
you barely have a market to trade. The 76ers are very hesitant. The 76ers don't want to pay you so bad that they lied to you. That they're willing to morally be looked at differently by the entire NBA association. Like, to give a promise and to go back on it, like that puts a different.
That was the first thing I thought about. Is like, there's got to be players looking at Sixers, looking at Daryl Morey and the Philadelphia 76ers, like, I'm not going there no more.
Yeah, don't take
like,
their word, or just don't take their word.
I'm not trusting what they say.
So it's like they were willing to put that image on themselves to not pay you. Like, they don't want to pay you that bad that they like, fuck it. We just going to be disloyal there. We lied.
They knew they didn't want to pay him as soon as the day. Well, they had reports that, like, we want to keep James Harden and, like, we want to extend him. But after the playoffs, I feel like there was no way that they were going to put him on some crazy, outlandish deal or just, like, give him exactly what he wants. And I feel like that's part of what Harden kind of is. Like, he's kind of like an NBA diva. Like, if he don't get what he wants, then it's just like shit's going to be a problem. But if it's going right, best believe he's going to have the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah, if I'm a team, I'm not really interested in giving James Harden a long-term deal, especially with the age, the injury history, the playoff. I don't really want to give you a 5-year deal, a 4 or 5 year max. Mm-hmm. Like, that doesn't even seem like that's smart for me as an organization to do. Because now I'm pigeonholing myself for 4 or 5 years to hire your contract.
He does seem like, because when we were talking about it before, but he had a lot of opportunities where he could have had more money, but he did some other option. And you were talking about, like, he's his own agent or something like that.
Yeah, he is his own agent.
So that's why I was thinking, like,
if it was about money too, then oh man, I don't know. So he took the pay cut, which made it seem like it was about winning. But then did he also do that because he knew he was gonna get paid on the back end anyway? So it's like, fuck it, I'll just do it because I know y'all got me in the back. So I'm not really.
Because he like, if we gonna be like this anyway, fuck, am I taking a pay cut for? What am I taking a pay cut for?
Yeah,
that we barely got past Brooklyn, and now we just lost to the Celtics. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that was the crazy. Y'all took a pay cut. No disrespect, y'all took a pay cut to get PJ Tucker. Paul Reed. I don't want to just because I love PJ and that's the homie. But it's like when I hear a motherfucker taking a pay cut, I think they finna go get. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a pay cut so I can get Wade and Bosh. Ain't taking no pay cut so I can get a role player. You know what I'm saying? But PJ Tucker is James Harden homie, so shout out to him being a good homie. Switching gears a little bit, Mike. I know this gonna make you happy. Mikal Bridges say that your boy Austin Reeves is not on some underdog shit no more. He's arrived.
I'm glad, bro. Nah, I think this.
You been peeping this USA shit?
I watched that first game. I forget who they went against, but he came out in like the first quarter.
Oh, we was all watching. Really.
Yeah. But they just played like Savlanius.
And he had like 33 or some shit.
He's been hooping, but I think this is amazing though. From the year that he had against the Lakers, and I think that was already just like a wake-up moment where he's like, I can hang with these guys. So now you're basically playing with basically borderline all-stars and everything like that. It's just like, and I can stick out. Yeah, like I'm going back and I'm feeling like I could really, have that all-star level.
Do y'all think he's at all-star level?
I don't think he's at all-star level yet.
I said, do you think he can hit it?
And being an all-star, I feel like it's different.
I agree.
Yeah. He might get close, but I don't think he'll be there yet.
No.
Can he? You're saying can he?
Can he hit it? You keep saying like, no, he's not there yet. But I'm saying, can he ever hit it? Will he ever be an
I'll say yeah. I'll say yes.
You think so?
He could probably get. Yeah, he could. Probably
I think he can. I think he can have one season where he's averaging like 20 plus
That's good. Is that good enough for him though? Because when you think about the West, you think about Steph, De'Aaron, Devin Booker.
He does the surrounding
Beal.
stats too, though.
I think he could be at the same level of like a CJ McCollum, where he has an all-star type
That's
impact.
that's what
That's
Michael said.
all-star
level.
All-star level. You just didn't technically make the all-star.
Yeah, like I could see him being at a CJ McCollum type level for sure.
I think in order for the Lakers to reach their fullest potential, they need that from him. I think. We talk about it all the time since he's joined the Lakers. LeBron is obviously getting older and older and older, and Father Time is undefeated. Obviously, Anthony Davis, still a very good player, a perennial all-star. Hopefully, can win a Defensive Player of the Year with the Lakers. Anthony Davis, but he's not like what we thought, which was him versus Giannis, face of the league.
Like
it's
bubble.
also just so beneficial. I think every like really good team or championship team, they need that one like. That flower that grew from the soil type thing. That doesn't have to be a number one pick or nothing like that, but it's just like he exceeded expectation and he's helping us and contributing to winning.
So the Raptors had that with Fred and Pascal, where we drafted these guys, developed them. They played in G League. They went from being at the end of the bench to being in a rotation to being the first man off the bench to being the starter, having big moments in the playoffs. I agree. I think any team that has that that's beneficial, especially from a money perspective, because also Reeves signed a team-friendly deal. He signed a deal that on the outside, it's like, oh, that ain't a big of a deal. But when you just made the money he made, that's a significant increase. You know, when you go from making, what was he making? Probably
like 12. No, it couldn't even be. I'd probably say like around 10 mil it had to be.
To make
just know it wasn't nowhere near no 50 M's.
Yeah, to go that up, it might, and like I said, around the league. From the league standard, it may not be a lot of money, but
he was undrafted. So
yeah, so it wouldn't. He couldn't have got like a good rookie.
Yeah, like
deal.
a rookie deal or something.
But y'all definitely do need that because like with the uncertainty of what you know and what you're gonna get from D'Lo in certain situations, like to know you have a consistent punch in Austin Reeves.
He wasn't making nowhere near $10 million. His first year, he made less than $1 million. He made $925,000, and then last year he made $1.5 million. That combined to make $2.4 million. He went from making $2.4 million in the first 2 years of his career.
I'm looking at it right
to
now.
He's making $12 million per.
Yeah.
And at the end, and the last year, this deal for a player option is going to be 14. To go from 1 to 12, it's a significant jump.
Yeah.
You go from being like, and then when you take into consideration taxes and everything, he wasn't making $1 million. He was probably making like $600,000.
You know who got the best of that though? Who? Fred. From what he was making to 40? Come on.
Yeah.
But he also
he
went
had
from
that
where
little,
he was making.
he had that little period, but it's just like, damn, that jump from when you started, bro. I couldn't imagine that shit hitting my account.
He went from undrafted to then making standard money to then remember the last deal before this last
it was
one,
like 20 million a year.
20 million
which
a year.
people thought was high for Fred then, and then he'd come
Doubled
back and double that
down. Yeah.
on a 3-year, 130. That boy eating, man.
Yeah.
Eating.
And then he still got that playoff team option at the end.
That boy eating.
What do you think y'all ceiling is with Austin Reeves if he does play at all-star level? Do you think y'all are like a lock for the finals?
Hell yeah. If Austin Reeves, let me let you answer.
I think this team feels like that 2020 type team. Like we feel like we have a complete roster. Ain't no shade, but like no Russell Westbrook type drama coming in. No depleted. We have like everything. I feel like we need.
Yeah.
We're not keeping that yet. Unless D-Lo start tweaking out. But we going I don't got no problem moving D-Lo. But this roster feels as complete as it can be. Like for that it's been in a minute.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Anthony Davis. I think it seems like every year it seems like he's due for a big year. But like what we saw in the playoffs, Anthony Davis played really good. He played really good basketball. Even when he wasn't scoring the ball quite well, the defensive impact was just crazy. Mm-hmm. So like if y'all can get a full year of that, the sky's the limit. I don't think y'all wouldn't have to fight that climb up either. Y'all wouldn't have to be the 7th seed. Mm-hmm. Y'all can have home court advantage in the first round.
I can't wait to see how Gabe Vincent plays.
Oh,
if he's anywhere near what he was playing like for Miami.
Yeah.
I don't even think he has to play at that level because you do have a D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, his role in Miami was like so big. Like he no longer has to play at that level.
I keep seeing too with like videos and pictures.
Cam Reddish,
Jackson Hayes.
Oh,
yes. I'm excited for Jackson Hayes because I feel like the Lakers have done a good job of taking at least one guy and like propelling him from
taking a chance on people,
their usual standard. Because Rui took that step
I was hoping Cam got it this year, or like Cam is like the surprise, unexpected dude. How like kind of Malik Monk.
Somebody, like Malik Monk. Somebody's gonna take that. It may be Cam, it may be Jackson Hayes. It could also be Max Christie. But I'm looking forward to which one of those guys is going to take that. Oh shit, he is actually like that's low key a guy for them off that bench because it's gonna be somebody.
Y'all gonna be able to play really big sometimes because Anthony Davis don't want to play center the whole game. Y'all gonna be able to put Jackson Hayes in.
5, AD at the 4,
LeBron at the 3. Yeah.
So who at the 5?
Jackson Hayes.
I think he got to play the 4. I don't think he's
regardless
no
if him and Anthony Davis are both out there. You got to watch for them because they're gonna be blocking shots and rebounding.
That's the one thing I think this team don't have though.
Is like a legit 5.
Yeah, if you wanted to play big with 80 at the 4, I don't think you have that person on this roster. Unless I'm forgetting somebody that y'all signed, but I don't think Jackson Hayes is the guy where it's like, oh, now we could put AD at the 5. Hell no.
He still got that size enough.
He definitely got size, but I don't think he taking. So if you playing the Sixers and he playing with AD still guarding Embiid. Jackson Hayes is not. Oh, y'all got Jared Vanderbilt too.
Oh yeah,
Jared Vanderbilt. He too small for Embiid. I forget who he was playing, and he just looked way too.
But that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't have anybody on here. Y'all don't have 1 7-footer.
Because when we played Jokic, I think they started. AD was guarding him, but I thought Vando tried.
Yeah, I
but
think
then that's when they switched and they put Rui on him, and they had like that. They had that whole different type of defense.
Yeah, they put Anthony Davis like down in the dunker spot. Yeah.
So y'all got Torrey and Print. I forget. I love the way y'all drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino, Maxwell Lewis, Colin Castleton from Florida, but he's gonna be on a 2-way. Yeah. So y'all only missing that. It would be nice if y'all could. What about Christian Wood? Would you be interested in Christian Wood?
I would. I would in the sense of like
you ain't feeling it, Hundy Mills.
I'm not.
I would in the sense of just like we can get this dude for like basically cheap. He used to average 20 points a game. Like maybe he could help us out, but I don't think there's actual like super big interest in it.
Defensively, he would just be such a different impact than what you have with Anthony Davis. If you were to put him in like that backup center role, your defense is just gonna drop significantly when Christian Wood is on the court. So
yeah, it's saying that Lakers warned against signing Christian Wood amid speculation why Lakers shouldn't sign Christian Wood. It looks like Christian Wood would be more interested in going with the Heat for a bigger role than the Lakers, which I think is like a mistake, man. Like I've said it 1,000 times this offseason, guys like Kelly Oubre, Christian Wood, guys that are still out there, I would just sign it to fuck my role. I'm signing with a team that I know is going to be in heavy chances of contending, and I'm playing with top-tier talent, and I'm going to just show my worth. I'm going to make it unfair out here. I'm going to make motherfuckers be like, damn, they got him too? Well, you should have signed me.
Yep.
Y'all should have signed me.
If Kelly Oubre ended up on the Bucks, I think that would be a very good deal for him. Like even if it's like on a bet on myself type thing, he can go there and thrive next to Giannis. Do you know how many open shots Giannis generate for his shooters? It would be so easy. But it's up to them though.
I just need him to find a home.
Yeah. Christian Wood is just so iffy on the other side of the ball that it's just so hard to see teams like really invest in that.
They saying that Kelly Oubre could be a target for the Sixers.
I can see that.
The Mavericks.
The Mavericks would be cold.
Yeah. Especially with Luka, Grant Williams, that Kyrie.
Because Kelly Oubre going to be running the transition.
Target.
He's going to compete on defense. You said Celtics?
Celtics, Bulls. I just can't believe that we're in fucking middle of August and these dudes don't have a team.
Especially Kelly Oubre played really good basketball.
Had a really good year. I was watching the Hornets a lot last year, even though they was ass, because he was just killing.
Because then he get hurt at one point. Is that injury that bad?
He did get hurt, yeah.
Is that injury like something that we just don't know about really?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. That's tough, though. That's tough. One of the last things I wanted to bring up that I had saw when I was scouring over the NBA landscape. Interestingly enough, Stephen A. Smith went on the podcast P, which was interesting, and I liked it because they had some back and forth. So I love when people are able to
have a conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation. None of this shit is ever that serious with media versus the players. I know some media it is, the people that do a lot of the reporting and reporting bullshit or false stories or making up stuff. I can understand that, but when Stephen A. Smith is on there really just, giving criticism, and a player don't like it, I just think it's just a conversation to clear it up. You know, Stephen A has a job to do, and I agree with some of the players. That's why I always say no disrespect, or I catch myself or correct myself, because we do get up here and we talk, and it can be loose, and you could call a motherfucker trash. You could call a motherfucker a bum. You could call them something.
I call James Harden a diva, but like I don't mean that in no disrespect. I felt like it just fit the word, like
for sure.
what's going on in the story.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes the players, you know, they human. They feel a certain way, and, you know, they don't want to be titled or labeled. And I think Stephen A definitely takes it to a different degree than we do, or most media, because he comes up with these nicknames, kind of like Skip Bayless with the West Brick. I would never take time out and
he
come
called
up with,
number Kawhi used to call him number 2.
Oh yeah, he would call Kawhi by his name.
Yeah, it's like that shit is kind of just weird because I don't really know them. But I also wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want.
No, the LeBron shit, that I've never seen nobody like it had
He's
nothing
made a
to do
career
with
off
him.
of
Yeah.
that shit.
Nothing to
That's
do
crazy.
with him.
I don't-
It could be a little league game that he's watching, and somebody like has a bad tone, or is like, is this little league or is that LeBron out there? Like,
I think he does that strictly just for the money. I don't think he really eats, sleep, and drink LeBron James. Like, it's just on his mind all the time.
I think he does. There's a counter of how many tweets that he's made about LeBron James, and LeBron James has never responded.
He's made a career off of that shit. But to circle back, Stephen A says he regrets the rant on Kwame Brown years ago, young Stephen A, when he was calling him a bona fide scrub on ESPN because of the Paul Gasol trade, and he was saying Kwame Brown, and he was just saying that he can tell that that hurt Kwame. You know, a year or so ago, Kwame had the exchange with Gilbert Arenas, and it was going on YouTube and talking about people calling him a bust and all of that shit. And Stephen A was just saying that, you know, he wish he didn't go in so hard, because he said at the time there was no Instagram or social media. He didn't know it was going to become a sound bite or a meme or all of that at the time. And so he wishes that, you know, he could go back and kind of change that. So he says now when he sees Kwame Brown going on for saying certain things about him, he just let him have it, because it's like, you know, you got it, bro. Like it ain't really that.
Yeah, because he already had Stephen A already got his shit off. So why would he even say anything back?
Yeah.
I be thinking at the end of the day, it's just basketball, bro.
That's why I was happy to see
It's
that
just
with
basketball.
Stephen A's response, because I feel like you don't see that with a motherfucker like Skip.
No,
I don't
not
really
gonna retrace.
recall Skip going back and being like, you know what, I was bogus for saying that, or I was wrong. Even with the Shannon Sharp.
I was about to say, bro, because DeMar Hamlin had went down. He tweeted some bogus ass shit about the game.
Oh
something
yeah,
like
he
that.
did.
And I remember Skip came up, or not Skip, Shannon, the next day he had brought it up, and like Skip couldn't even like take that he was about to go out at him. Like he immediately went at him, like he started talking about like criticizing his football career and shit like that. It's just like, bro, slow down. It's okay, bucko. Like, come on now.
Literally.
Bucko.
One thing about sports media that I've learned by being in this shit, the bigger and bigger that we get every single year, it's okay to be like, oh shit, I was wrong, or my fault, my bad, or damn, I said something out of turn, my fault.
Because it's impossible to be right all the time. And you can
that's
also
inevitable.
Yeah, and sometimes you do just get a little too loose and you just say things you don't really mean. Like,
Well, that's the part where I wouldn't apologize for. If I'm up here talking with my homie and we just talking bullshit, just going back and forth, it's a difference from when we having a civilized, real conversation, debate. But if me and you just talking casually and we don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, boy, his bum ass. That somebody really is taking that serious, I'm not apologizing for that shit. But if we in a heated, passionate, hardcore debate, discussion, and I'm arguing why this guy is a top 10 shooting guard, and I'm like, well, that motherfucker sucks. So I don't know, well, why you on his? Then I would be like, you know what? I was a little heated, a little passionate. He don't suck. I would just, you know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of fans, more than even the players, they are the ones that get a little too hurt. You can't really say shit about shit. Everybody's a fan of every team, and they like the players on every team. So you say one thing. I state facts, and motherfuckers come at me. I say the Rockets suck, and Rockets fans think I'm a Rockets hater. Y'all won 22 games.
Yeah.
Or what, did they win 17 games? Who?
17 or 20
No,
something.
the Pistons won
17.
Pistons won 17.
They won 20. So it's like, y'all sucked.
Yeah.
I'm a Knicks fan. When the Knicks weren't making the playoffs and they was losing games heavily, I was up here saying the Knicks
Suck. It's okay to admit your team suck.
KB says the Bulls suck. Because why? Because they aren't good. That's what my job is. I'm stating a fact. If a player isn't performing, I have to come up here and say he isn't performing. And my own basketball IQ allow me to break it down. So if a player ain't performing, I could be like, well, he ain't performing probably because his offense don't fit his game. Or, you know what I'm saying, this is not how they want to play. DeAndre Ayton, the Suns want a rim-running center. That's really not his game. Maybe he would look different and change the scenery. Or maybe it's his motor, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm supposed to analyze that situation. But the fact is, blah, blah, blah is underperforming.
Yeah.
I have to come up here and say that.
And sometimes you just have to, sometimes I just think fans, they get so it was like rose eyes or something. Like they love that player so much in that organization that they don't really see the flaws. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes you just got to sit back and look at it from an unbiased eye, and you'll see it.
I think they'd be seeing the flaws. They just defend it because they just feel like their player has to be perfect.
Yeah. Which
I understand defending and being a little biased, but I've never been extreme biased. Like, I'll come up here and I've, of course, defend Paul George. I've defended Devin Booker, Ben Simmons.
The light-skinned brothers.
It's because I fuck with the Paul George is not light-skinned. He like
my skin.
That's what I don't understand. Like, the light-skin thing that people have, like this light-skin shade in people's eye. Me and Paul George are two different complexions. So is Kobe light-skinned to you?
Kobe, no.
He's the same fucking complexion as Paul George. Is Austin light-skinned?
No.
That's Paul George.
He might be a little bit.
All right, chill.
He on the lighter side.
I wouldn't call him light-skinned.
I'm a brown-skinned individual.
Me or Austin?
You maybe because you was in the sun.
I think you might be like
but I think y'all the same like tone.
We in the same color scape.
I don't call Mike light-skinned.
No.
When I think of light-skinned, I think of like a Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine light-skinned.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine's a straight-up light-skinned guy.
Steph Curry light-skinned.
Jay Critch type shit.
Klay Thompson.
Jordan
Poole on the edge.
But I seen that on and I don't. Colorism is a big thing. People really do be into that.
I don't know why people care.
And it's a funny joke that my dad said and KB said on the podcast, and I'm not really bothered by it, but because I didn't know colorism is a real thing, but social media show you like people really like don't fuck with certain things because like, oh, that person is too light or that person is too dark. So
we was talking about a TV show, P-Valley, that Mike is watching. I was like, you didn't notice that there was a battle between the light-skinned girls and the dark-skinned girls? Like that was an issue.
And also, it kind of does make sense because it's like down south too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. When they put it into perspective, that's what made me start letting people know, like, bro, it's a joke, but like, I fuck with Lil Wayne is one of my favorites. He's a dark skinned man. Kobe Bryant is not light skinned. That's my favorite player of all time.
They had it on one.
Chill
football.
on this.
It was one football broadcast. I forget who said it. He's like. The running back got an advantage because he's dark skinned. He's like you can't really see him out the back.
Or did he say you can't see the ball?
You can't see. It was like something like that, bro. But he's saying that he had an advantage because he was dark skinned.
That sounds crazy.
That shit is crazy.
That sounds crazy to just say.
When you go on Twitter, people show you how real colorism is because they have their own stories and own shit. And again, sometimes Twitter can be a little too sensitive. Everything ain't about you being offended. But when people have dealt with certain things their entire life, it triggers them. And I see that a lot of time on Twitter. What I don't like about colorism a little bit is in our own community.
Yeah.
Like, me and you are black men.
Yeah.
I'm lighter, I'm mixed. My hair might get a little curly if it get wet, but I'm still a black man, just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I get pulled over.
I was going to say, that's my favorite. I think you might even said that, and I heard that from you, but like, if they look at you, or like the police look at you, they going to say your ass is black.
Right.
Ain't nobody finna say, oh, he light-skinned, he got the benefit of the doubt.
No. Where, like, if there was fountains, if this is going back to, that time where it's white only, they would not let me drink at the white only. But like in the black community, they like in the hood, they call me like white boy or you'll be light bright or something like that. And it's like there is certain colorisms, but like at the same time, we all fight the same fight.
Yeah, if you grew up in the city, there's definitely light skinned brothers that was called white boy.
Yeah,
that you just
that's white boy or light.
That started so far back though. It's because like lighter skinned people they worked in the house, and then dark skinned people they had to work in the field. That's where it really started.
But they worked in the house because the slave owner themselves
or it was in the house
raped
raped
a slave, had a baby, and then they just had the baby with a special privilege. But still, that wouldn't make sense for the other slaves to be mad at the person that's in the house because, like, my parent got raped for me to be here.
You should sympathize on me.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what the hell? So it just go back into a whole lot of deep-rooted frustration, anger, and different things like that. But all I said all that to say is that Twitter the last few years have showed me the significance of colorism and prejudice against different things, and it get weird. It get weird. You know what I'm saying?
But Mike, you said you had fan questions.
I appreciate Twitter for being so real.
Yeah, I do.
That's one of the sides of Twitter that I do appreciate.
Like, I appreciate the fact that they actually like tell you how they feel on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody gonna hold nothing back from you. And if you say something stupid, you said something stupid. Somebody begged me for saying Steph Curry was good at defense earlier.
But that's the thing. That's one of the things on Twitter that I don't like is that there's a problem with everything. You go on Twitter right now and you scroll long enough, you're gonna find somebody formulating a problem with something.
As soon as you open it up, it's negative.
Yeah, it's just like
it's hard to find positive stuff on Twitter.
Look at this dude cooking with his daughter. Well, why he cooking with his daughter? Why he feel like she got to cook because she a girl? Why he ain't out there throwing her the football? It's just like, whoa. He just wanted to cook with his daughter.
What if she ain't want to play football?
Right. You feel it's always a thing, but it's just like they literally, boom. It's like everything is a problem. I seen a boy, his mom made him cut his hair, and it's like, oh my gosh, why is she doing that to that boy? And I'm like, who knows? What if he's a badass? What if this motherfucker got expelled and that's his punishment? Or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the fuck be going on.
That's why I try to mind my business the most. Because you just don't know what the hell a person's going through, bro.
Literally.
You don't know what the hell a person's going through.
Yeah, you just never know. So I just ignore it.
And then you never know which one of these people is actually being themselves on the internet. Like, you could just be, like, pursuing some fake persona that you're trying to keep up with, and it is negative.
Yeah. So you just got to... The internet is not a real place at the end of the day.
It's funny though.
Yeah, that's my shit, man. Internet is not a real place.
Like on the internet, people hate interracial relationships, but interracial relationships are everywhere.
That's another thing. That's another thing,
bro. You know how many people ask me on stream? They're like, "Is your girlfriend white? Is your girlfriend white?" I'm like, why the fuck does that even matter? They'd be like, everybody in TTW likes white girls, and I'm like, KB was in the Discord. He's like, I'm the only one in here with a white girlfriend. Like, I don't even get that thing. Like,
well, they probably don't know they mix.
Yeah, I was like,
but
yeah.
Regardless if she not, let's address that. Everybody in Through the Wire has dated multiple races.
Yeah, I think that just comes with the territory where we live at. We live in the suburbs.
Not even. It's just like
that's just
the pinpoint thing that everybody in Through the Wire want is what everybody in the world should want, which is somebody who loves them and that they bond with.
Yeah.
Bro, y'all are seeing us at a certain stage of our life. So you can't tell me what I only like. Do you know how many black women I've been involved with? You know how many Latina women I've been involved with? There's not a race. You could probably count on your hand how many races I haven't been involved with. And that goes to your point where it's like, I just haven't been around them. You know what I'm saying? I've never dated like I never dated a girl that's like from Pakistan or something. And the reason I say Pakistan is I know a girl. I don't know if y'all know Aisha, but we went to school with a girl named Aisha. Her family is from Pakistan. I've never dated anything like to that degree. But I've dated almost everything that's been shown, you know what I'm saying? Or talked to or fucked with, whatever you want to reference. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't had that many girlfriends because at a certain age, you're just kind of talking and messing with people versus like dating. But like I've fucked with all type of girls. So to try to
that's why I feel like there's probably like some subconscious thing I got where it's just like I do have a preference, but people always be like, "What's your type?" And I'd be like, "Bro, I feel like it's just like if you're cute and I like how you look, like then like you're my type. Then like I don't feel like I have a certified. She got to be light skinned, have brown.
I think I used to be like that when I was younger. But I think and that's what I tell people that I know, like personally, people that I know, personal family members or friends. The greatest thing I ever did is I hit a certain age where I matured and stopped limiting myself. I never had a preference on race or skin tone, But I definitely had a preference where it's like, oh, I like girls with this length of hair. I like girls with this much ass. I like the girls with this much titties. I like girls that ain't this tall, they ain't this short. I like girls with this. I like girls that don't have this or don't have that. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of people like, man, I know. I heard dudes plenty of time, man. I ain't dating a girl with kids. I'm not dating a girl who you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
Who ain't got this much ass.
Hey, P, I'm going to say this real quick. This for 2K. It say shot meter off, increase your green window by 20%.
And this new one?
So take that meter off.
I sound like I have 20% is a
20% is a lot.
I wonder why they want
Why
you
has
to
the
turn
shot
off
meter
your
gotten
meter.
so much worse progressively over time?
Why? What's they?
That
what
shot
do
meter
they
used
have
to be
against
elite.
the?
It say your opponents and teammates won't see your shot meter online in NBA 2K24, but my advice is to turn it off. Turn off the shot meter as soon as you learn your timing, because it increases the green window by 20%.
I'm gonna have to turn it off
Bro, you know Kyrie gonna love that shit.
for real. But yeah, I just think the older that you get, the less you care about like these superficial appearance preferences, and you just look for the things that are valuable. Because I've been with people that I thought were really attractive, but they don't get my jokes. That's a huge problem. I've been with people who got my jokes, but they had super insecurity issues about themselves or me, or you know what I'm saying. You just got certain things that just don't clash. You got people who could be fine, sexy, get the jokes, but they super disrespectful. That ain't gonna work because I'm not a disrespectful person and I'm not tolerating disrespect to me. It's a lot of so it's like it's deeper than just preference. So it's like
that nigga just wanted to come home to his girl frying some chicken in her panties.
What the?
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
But I think I say all this to say when Dana isn't what I think my young self would have, because Dana's tall. I've never been with a tall girl. That was just a thing. As a tall guy, you just ain't with a tall woman. But you know what I'm saying?
Also, when you kind of go through relationships, you kind of like figure out what value and what you like and what you kind of want out of it.
I think that in life there's just beauty in all forms. Like there's beauty in a lot of different things that you could just look at, and like it's just a way you have to go about life. You can't go about life looking for that IG model. That's unrealistic. Like,
and that's the other part about the values and the morals. You could find an IG model,
but she's not gonna match your morals.
And she could not love
That's why
you.
I feel like that's that people living online too much shit too.
Yeah.
Because half the majority of people you see, they're not IG models at all. Like nowhere clear.
And then you see, and then you go on Instagram and you keep up with the shade room on social media shit, and all these Instagram models that y'all simp over. They date the same motherfucker. They get passed around by the same. This girl was dating this NBA player. Now she date that rapper, and then now she dating that producer, and then had a baby by that football player. So it's like it's just the same circle of people dating the same. Me personally, I'm not into that type of shit. I couldn't go and be in the celebrity lifestyle dating a girl who I know dated a dude who I listen to and a dude I watch.
Yeah.
My favorite rapper dated my girl, and she also dated my favorite basketball player. No, me personally, I'm just being honest about me, knowing me. Yeah. Call it what you want to call it. That's me. That's some shit that I don't think I could live with. You call it insecure, whatever, but I'm just not into
social media got like the standards like unrealistic. It's always good to have like your standards high and everything like that, but they be posting like people really will post shit, and I really like you can't believe everything you see on the internet talking about something like, man, first date I'm always spending $2,000 on the first date. Like
you ain't even make $2,000 this month, bro.
Why? And it's just like you see people in the comments like, yeah, bro, like I be on the same shit, or people think like that's the ideal.
Like when you on TikTok and you see like somebody be like, "What's your red flags?" and then the girl pull out her phone and she has a whole list of red flags.
That's
the red flag.
That's the funniest shit on Twitter. It's like this guy who he always look for these videos, and he has this note.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, another thing men can't do.
Yeah,
because women be like, man, I don't like men that wear his socks midway past his ankle. He'll open up his phone. He'll put, we can't wear high socks. We can't get our hair cut by another man. We can't use the bathroom past 9 o'clock. Minutes. Like it's just like crazy. But I was just thinking about what Mike said, and I'm not trying to make this into anything crazy, but they was on Twitter like 2 days ago. I saw capping about sex. And I'm like, this is the problem.
Everybody got a damn porn addiction. Y'all need to turn that shit
This
off.
is the damn problem. They on there talking about, man, 45 minutes, 20 minutes, man, it's starting at 40. And it's like, bro, y'all sound like a bunch of fucking kids.
It's starting at 40. I ain't never had sex then.
That's my point. Y'all, they be on the internet capping and lying about every fucking thing. Or
They be using them honey packs.
Or, which is crazy.
That's wild.
Or, what do I say? Exaggerating.
Yeah.
If you had some shit going on, there was, a decent amount of time.
No.
That ain't. I'm a man. I mean, I'm a grown ass man. I have other men who are my friends who I talk to. I have brothers, siblings. We all talk amongst each other and tell truthful situations. Every man ain't
You
out
remember?
there like that.
Yeah.
That's a scientific fact.
A couple years ago. This was in our homeboys chat. I think Terrence had put in like the screenshot of it. It's of a nigga that we know too. He had put on Facebook. He said, "I just had sex for 4 hours. Make sure y'all drink y'all water."
See, that's just a lie.
Just lying.
This is
4
a lie.
hours.
4 hours.
Why are you wasting that much time in your day?
I can go talk to 1,000 girls, and all of them gonna say, if somebody try to do some shit for 4 hours straight,
They not gonna be.
I'm not.
interested.
They don't even want that. Nope. So it's just like you're just lying. What girl just want like 4 hours?
What is she? A
Do you
porn
know
star?
how much? Do you know how? I don't even realize how long 4 hours is.
4 hours.
4
That's a
hours.
whole
That's half a
fucking
shift.
flight damn near to the West Coast.
Yeah, it's just a flight to the West Coast.
Let me ask y'all this question. Me and Angie had talked about this like a few days ago. We was talking about like we was listening to Search and Rescue by Drake and how he was talking about how the girls he want, like the girl that he probably would love to be with, probably in the places that he be.
Yeah.
And I was like, which gender do y'all think could transition easier into that lifestyle? Like Drake dating a female, or like a girl like Jennifer Aniston dating like me, or like a normal dude? Like,
Do you think a famous girl dating a regular dude or a famous dude dating a regular girl?
yeah, which gender coming off of the streets of working a normal job can transition into that lifestyle of dating someone of that profile easier?
I feel like a
I
woman
don't
could
probably- I feel
transition
like-
into stardom more.
Angie has said men probably couldn't handle it.
No, I don't
Men
think dudes
couldn't
can
handle
handle
it?
it.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think it's the right answer because I think both can't handle it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because say I picked up fucking
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice. Like, first of all, it's every nigga in the world trying to get at her.
Exactly.
So first of all, your confidence level has to already be like 1,000,000. Second of all, it's just like
You
it might
already
be a little different. I feel like for the dude, if I'm a famous guy, like the opportunity is constantly just there. Like, and it's so easy, type of thing. Versus like a girl's a little bit more holding of it. But it really depends. I don't think I'd be comfortable either way.
You don't
Like,
think you would
yeah,
handle it?
I'm with P. I think it's like it's a tough ass situation. It's
I
literally just-
think it's more or less gender and it's person.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it has to be a type of person. Like I agree with Mike. If Ice Spice, if I was single and wasn't with Dana, and me and Ice Spice started fucking around, me just being honest of who I am, I'm knowing I got the baddest girl in the game right now. Everybody, every studio she going to, every producer, she's in a male dominated industry.
Yeah.
Every session, so it's not even a rapper that's trying to get. It's the rappers, the engineer, the managers, the security,
the agents,
the
The A&R.
fans, the bus driver. Everywhere she go, it's a motherfucker that's trying to get at her, eyeing her, all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
and vice versa. Like if I'm dating Drake, that nigga could damn near like this is gonna sound glazy, but that nigga can get basically anybody, bro. If he go to his fucking tour and he trying to get somebody and they willing to do it, like
And
he
that's
got
why the girl
damn
ain't gonna be able to
opportunity.
handle it.
Yeah.
That's
He
what-
got the
because
damn opportunity.
women know how other women are, and they know somebody like Drake. Bro, I just seen
And
a
vice versa.
video on Twitter of a dude who's not even famous was getting interviewed, and a girl came up to him talking about like, hey or whatever, blah blah blah. And the interviewer instantly like, oh, you would let him get your number? She, yeah, he can get my number. Hit me up tonight, blah blah. And then he said, look down at your phone because it showed her. You could see in the camera that her phone was getting a call. It's her boyfriend.
Oh shit.
So it's like, and that wasn't even Drake. That's not even
Yeah.
a famous dude. So it's just like, it just depends on the person because, yeah, like rightfully so. If you're a regular person and all you've ever dated was regular people, now you dating somebody who's a superstar and who has sex appeal, who people think is sexy.
Bro, you know what movie I just watched?
you're going to be like, I'm just being real.
I just watched The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I forgot what his it's like something Cruise.
Tracy Morgan was in there.
He was. It's like something Cruise, but he was like a superstar quarterback or some shit, and he had the spread wrong. He ended up going to jail, all that type of shit. But one of the guards is talking to him. He's like, before you messed up, like you fucked my wife. And then Adam Sandler's like, my bad. He said, no, don't worry about it. If my wife could do something like that, then I must be doing something right. I'm like, bro.
I said something to Dana. I'm like, something was happening on Twitter or something, or a TV show, somebody was cheating. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I never wanted to be cheated on. But if you was ever gonna cheat on me, that motherfucker better be Michael Jordan. Better be the richest motherfucker in the world or something. But
yeah,
and
a
motherfucker cheating on you with the pool guy who making $7 an hour. Oh man. Oh man, that's bad
crazy.
Look. Now you gotta reevaluate your whole life. Man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But yeah, man, I don't know. What was you saying?
I was saying that I think that, like, for me personally, I think I could do it, but like I feel like it would be harder for a woman to do it, just because, like you said, like she had said men were very jealous creatures, and I was like, I feel like that's the same thing for women. Like I feel
that's a human thing.
Yeah,
I feel like we
that's
give
a
a fuck
human
less.
thing.
Yeah,
but no, I think
No.
that I agree with Mike. That's a human
if
thing.
if you really fuck with a person, you gonna care.
That's a human thing where people, again, the internet specifically, motherfuckers cap like they don't get jealous. Listen, every person gets jealous. Every person has insecurities.
Facts.
Every person has fears. Every person is self-conscious about something with themselves. All it is that makes us different is how we handle and respond to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be insecure about something, but the difference between me and a person who is insecure is I ain't giving a fuck about it 24/7. There's somebody that may be self-conscious about something that's on their mind all the fucking time.
Yeah.
My nose, I might be like, man, I got a big nose. I'm insecure about it. But I don't give a, you're not hearing me talking about it.
Yeah.
Somebody may give a fuck about their jaw and they talk about the shit that's what makes it different. We both have something that we're self-conscious about. We just care at two different levels. Both of us are jealous. You just may be way more jealous. You know what I'm saying? So I think Mike is right. These are human things. It's just about how, you know what I mean? Everybody gets upset, but the hot-headed person is hot-headed because they respond.
Yeah.
It's how you cope. It's how you cope with things.
Because the same shit that piss you off will probably piss me off. But if you respond with violence and I don't, you're the hothead.
Yeah. Responding with violence is always just like the weird way of like dealing with shit. You should never respond with violence just because something triggered you a little bit. You gotta learn how to like handle your emotions.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think the first thing with doing that is understanding that we all got emotions. People always, my whole life has always told me, you emotional.
And that's good.
But it's just like, name a human that isn't emotional.
Yeah.
And we all are happy, sad, mad, angry, excited. Like there's just a certain range of emotions that we all deal with. And there's people that don't understand that about themselves. So somebody that's having an emotion, they look at them like, oh man, you're emotional. But it's like, who isn't?
Yeah.
And I was reading a book called Emotions that tell you about emotions, how to handle them, how to deal with them, how to accept them, how to not run away from them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what really broke everything down to me, where it's like, and there was a good shit in there. It was like, man, if you angry, anger is just an emotion of energy. So if you angry and you just say, fuck it, I'm going outside, you run around a tree 5 times, he was like, man, you'll be so tired that you exerted that energy, you won't be angry no more.
Yeah.
Because like he was like, man, next time you find yourself mad, do 30 jumping jacks and watch you feel different because you just use that energy in a way, and that's a better tactic than like verbalizing with somebody, being aggressive, being violent. You just use the energy in a different way, and you found out how to deal with it in a way that didn't lead to something that you would regret. Mm-hmm. So
that's why when you see a lot of people when they go through breakups and they start going to the gym, you see like the craziest gym transformations that you have because they channeled that energy into
something positive.
Just something positive, and like it works. That's why sometimes you got to figure out a way to just transfer your energy. Some people play video games.
Yeah.
Sometimes sitting at the game and just
an outlet.
Yeah, just an outlet.
Yeah.
Or reading a book.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's something.
when I have The easiest escape for me, I feel like, is just going to play basketball. Honestly,
Yeah.
That's 1,000% taking your mind of it. You is not
I
going
don't
to be in
think
the
about
court.
shit,
You're not
you
going to
know?
be on the court tired, guarding your man like, she broke my heart. You finna be like, damn, I'm tired. Like, how can I stay in front of this motherfucker?
I used to love. I miss when Lifetime used to be open 24 hours because I used to go to the gym sometimes at like 12 o'clock at night, just randomly, and just like shoot around and go upstairs and like it's just like having that piece of the whole gym to yourself, and you just be able to go in there and do everything you want with no issues, and it's just like it's just peaceful. And something about doing that it used to just put me in like the best moods. The drive home used to be crazy.
I used to do that shit too. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be late as hell at night. I'll finish hooping, then I'll go into the pool and like the little hot tub. It'd be
Yeah.
like fucking 1, 2 in the morning, and it'd be nobody on the streets driving
Thanks.
home.
That's what
It's
I
just
like.
a nice, calm drive back.
I like
you got
driving.
turn up to the music.
Yeah. I love a good drive. Me and my girl do that all the time. Like we'll just go on a drive. Like
Down
on
like
a Tuesday.
downtown?
We'll go downtown. We'll go if one time we was trying to go downtown like a week ago, it was Lollapalooza. We had to turn around and detour.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll go anywhere. We'll drive to fucking Joliet. Like just random shit that's just
Yeah.
like what's up this street? And we'll just drive and just like chill.
Sometimes it's fun even just like looking at the nice houses and shit.
Yeah, we drive through some of the rich neighborhoods by us.
I'm
and just
gonna
look at the
definitely
nice
have to do that when they be putting up the lights
The
for when
Christmas
the
lights?
Christmas
Oh, yeah, the
lights.
Hell
Like-
yeah.
Like the ones over in Burridge,
Yep.
like that whole area be lit with lights,
Yes.
lights, bro.
Yes, that should be good. But yeah, to answer the question, yeah, I think both genders will have. I think it's more of the specific person. You have to be a person that you know what I'm saying that can control your jealousy, that may have your own shit going on.
SZA said in her song, "You can't trust nobody that you ain't never been broke with."
Eh,
No,
I mean,
I don't really agree with that.
I see what
I
you're
see
saying.
what you
though.
mean.
I got my value with Dana. Like when I met Dana, we was just starting to get shit going, and I ain't had no car. I was still in my mama basement. Like Dana done slept on the floor with me. So once we propelled and got that bag, it was like we went through shit together. So now it's like okay. So I kind of feel that line a little bit because I don't know what life would be if I was up and I had to go find my person. And now they around, they see you with the nice car, they see you with the nice watches, you got the nice crib, you know, you going on vacations. Any motherfucker could jump on with that, but is a motherfucker willing to sleep on the floor with you? Is a motherfucker willing to pick you up because you ain't got no car?
That's when you could tell like true genuine love, when somebody willing to fuck with you when you ain't got it, or even if you do got it, they still willing to sometimes offer to pay or do shit like that. Like they willing to go out their way to try to make shit happen for you.
Now you know what's that's popped in my mind about what you said. Angie asked you.
What?
Okay, if Drake got with a bad bitch who ain't famous,
Yeah.
but she still got like a good following, that make it even it out.
Yeah, they're making even it out.
Because she still got niggas in her DM too.
Yeah.
I ain't Beyonce, but I still got 98,000 on Instagram and I got 67,000 on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I get thousands of likes on my pictures. I got sex appeal dudes is in my DMs too. Then maybe it could.
Yeah, it can balance
But
out.
you talking about it's not gonna work if he picking up the local girl at the Starbucks or some shit like that.
Because she don't have people thirsting over her.
So she gonna feel immediately like she can't compete with the girls as he's
For
around.
me.
Yeah.
If I'm with Ice Spice DMs is on 10 24/7. My DMs is on 10 with basketball fans, not feeding women. So it's like
Yeah.
that person don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't. I don't know. It's hard. How am I trying to explain
No,
this?
like that other person still has options.
Boom.
Yeah.
So, but you got options, but Drake with that bad bitch on Twitter, she
She got
options
options too. Yeah.
Theoretically,
Bro,
because
because
women
this shit up 'cause
women
it's so
ain't designed like men. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm one of those people that think men and women are different. Like I think that 1,000%.
Yeah, we are.
Emotionally, mentally, like physically. You know, and I understand women empowerment. I'm with that all the way. I grew up in a house full of women. My mom birthed everything but girls after me. I'm my mom's only boy. So I'm all with women empowerment. But men are typically stronger creatures than women. Women are typically, there are some exceptions, women are smarter than us, bro.
Smarter.
Women are
oh,
smarter.
They're a little bit more dependent.
Way more in certain situations emotionally intelligent. Cause dudes, we see all the time, motherfuckers step on a dude's shoe and now it's a shooting.
That's crazy.
Like that
Yeah.
shit's crazy.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy. And we in Chicago. You hear all the time. Man, they was shooting. How they shoot? Oh, he bumped into him and didn't say nothing. And
Because these niggas can't fight.
Huh?
They can't fight.
But even if they fought, that's a stupid reason to even fight. You stepped on my
I would
shoes, so
rather
we're
you
fighting?
fight.
I think that's also.
I would rather.
that's what I'm
We're not talking
saying,
about
like-
rather though. But that's even still stupid. Even if you fight that, if I step on Mike's shoes and we start boxing, you know how stupid that sounds.
No, it does. It sounds stupid, but in the climate that we live in, though, I would rather.
But that's
you
not
throw
the conversation we have. Obviously,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
obviously, shit. But it just goes to the point where like, yeah, and I'm not saying it don't happen with women. Women could definitely just go in a room and be eyeing each other and don't have no reason behind. But I'm just saying,
they're better at communication.
way better.
Oh yeah, way better at communication.
They got us beat by that, and so fucking.
I
You
was
know what
say
I'm
by a
saying?
mile.
But what you was finna bring? You said you didn't want to bring it up. Or?
No, when you was talking about that, just like that option shit, that shit reminded me. And like I said, this shit is so cringe. But I had to block Blueface and Krishan on Twitter because that's all I seen. But I remember Blueface had a stretch where he's like, "Man, you can't just have one girl. You gotta have like 5, 6 girls." Like he had a whole stretch where he's like that. And then every time it would be like Krishan, she got a message from like so and so. She got a message from so and so. And this nigga Blueface like, "Man, she a hoe. She ain't worth nothing." It's like, bro, you can't have that. You can't just live that double standard
It's
and just
that double
expect it to
standard.
be like you're not gonna get the energy reciprocated at all.
And there is double standards that we can't control. They just exist. I don't know why. Because that is true. If I go out and have sexual relations with 7 girls, I'm a player. If a girl has 7 sexual relations with a dude, she's a hoe. I didn't create that.
Yeah.
That's just
I feel like there's just more there's like emotional attachment more with a female, and that's could be a fallacy, which is like not for everybody. Could be a little bit of exaggeration, but I feel like deep down there is a more of a like connection.
that's why.
And
I
that goes
look
to
at women
like
and men
that,
different,
you can
'cause I
even say
agree
that's
with
like goes to like way back when it was caveman and shit. Because if a girl goes out and she gets pregnant, the dude don't gotta stay. The dude could go out there and kill the tiger and eat lunch or whatever. She has to fend for that baby while all the dangers of the world are still coming at.
Yeah.
That shit still exists to the day in terms of like just single parent and all
Yeah.
that. So women have to be a little bit more careful.
They do. That's a really good point. But I do think there's a little bit more of emotion, and that probably is why. Is because you know what I'm saying. Every time a woman lays down to do that, no matter what I mean. Yeah, there's birth control, Plan Bs, condoms, or whatever. There's always
There's
that
a chance of having a baby.
Yeah, that they're gonna have to not only fend for, but they have to
But I
carry
do
that
think
for
they
9
could've-
months.
They can go into it as well without like any emotions attached as well.
Yeah, that's
Same
why I
way
say
we
it's
do.
not- It's not.
They
I was-
can
it's
because there's not
always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with you. It's not always the case, but I feel like for the majority, I feel like you're probably in the rear if you're a girl out there and you're trying to just kind of like sleeping around just because like I'm finna get 6 bodies just because I can. I feel like you're in the minority there.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not saying it's impossible. That's one thing that always has to go. I hate that it has to be said, but like, yeah, there's always exceptions to everything for sure.
There's also just needs too. Women go like 8 months and she like, man, I kind of need like this break there.
But you know what's
might
funny?
You might see it happen.
I know from personal experience through friends. I have a close friend to me who was with this girl. This girl told him, she came to him and said this, listen, I ain't looking for all that relationship shit. You do you, I'm gonna do me. We could just be friends with benefits type shit, and we'll just do, but I ain't looking for all of that, right? He like, bet, shit, that worked for me. They doing their friends with benefits shit for a few months. That ass was lying.
I've been in that same situation.
He went out, did what she said he could do. Him. She did something to his car. And he was caught off guard to her because he like, bro, you the one that put that proposition on my table. Now you're upset with what you asked for. Like, what the hell? And I'm like, that's what made me be like, yeah, women, they may want to do that. They may wish they could do that. And I don't even think
it's also like if a female really likes you, they'll be willing to try to jump through those loops or try to do
to make them feel like,
yeah,
make you feel as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
And then they'll think that you'll get convinced that I just want to be with her. But it's like,
I had a
yeah.
situation where like I was still messing with my ex, and like this one girl, she really liked me and everything like that. And she knew I was still messing with my ex, but she liked me. So she was like, I'm willing to kind of put up with this and hope that like maybe I'll change my mind.
Yeah. You didn't change your mind.
No. And you're going to get mad when it's like you put in this effort and you're not getting what you want,
Yeah. But
that's why I think honesty up front is like the most important
best thing.
Yeah.
I also think women with that, like those are good things to have though. Where like, you know, a lot of men be out here running around doing a lot of different things with different women. That shit ain't necessarily it. So women should look at those certain things, and I think sometimes they want to battle men. Like, I could do it too. Don't do it with men are stupid.
That shit not.
Yeah, men
they really are.
That shit, and a lot of real men, we look at that and we call that shit a L. You know what I'm saying? I'm maybe when you're 15 and a dude has 6 girls and it's like, oh, he a player. At 28, I'm not looking at my homie like, damn, you got 6 girls you talk to. I'm looking at him like he's a damn fool. That's a lot of juggling. That's a lot of nonsense. Because
you know what? As you grow up too, you kind of realize about like the whole like it's not always about you. When you're talking to people and like mess with people, you got to take their feelings into consideration too. Because once one of them find out and you break their heart and you low key like them or you low key fuck with them,
you got
that shit gonna fuck with your. That shit gonna make you feel guilty.
I say all the time. It was this girl I was talking to like in high school. She went to high school with us. She was a really really sweet girl, and I always feel like, not that I'm with my girl. I'm good. I don't want to be with her, but I always think back and was like, damn. I remember hitting a certain age and being like, damn. I probably was a little bogus to her. Now, I wasn't on no dog shit. I didn't dog this girl out, or I don't want to say I broke her heart, but I definitely always was like, hey, I should maybe reach out.
You ain't put in your full effort?
Yeah, so she liked me, and she wanted to be in like a relationship. Mm-hmm. I was young. I was a teenager.
Yeah, you didn't really want to be
I wasn't trying to be in a relationship.
But listen. And I don't, for the people, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that feel like, man, I did somebody bogus, and let me reach out and see how they doing. Do you think that's a little toxic?
Why?
Because, like, in theory, I guess your goal is you can care about them, but also you're kind of doing that shit for yourself because you want to kind of feel better about the situation.
No, the reason I say, I mean, it could have been toxic if I wanted to reach out and reignite some shit.
Right.
I didn't have no plans on doing that. But I just wanted that person to know, and the reason being is because when you have sisters who get older and start to deal with men, when you have a daughter and you know that they're going to have to deal with men, you got nieces, you look at women and you start to be like, oh, shit. It's good for women to know from men who was once young and dumb, don't change. Don't act like you want to be friends with benefits or sex buddies with somebody to try to please somebody. Because young men is stupid. We're dumb. We're going to be dumb for a long time compared to women. But, like, especially in your teenage years, you just don't value.
Even into your 20s.
Yeah, when you're 16 and 17, you're not trying to, you're not looking for a good woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I want a good woman who got her head on straight.
The shit I just said was like, I just want a girl that's gonna be at home cooking, chicken in her underwear. I wasn't saying that at 16.
No, that's why in high school you saw so many like relationships where like someone cheated on each other because niggas we just being young and dumb.
So it wasn't to go back and make me feel good. I'm straight. I'm good. But it's to let a girl know she ain't do shit wrong. I was just young and dumb. Yeah. And all that does, because like you said, you don't know how that affects somebody. If a woman is being, if a young girl is being a good girl, she ain't doing nothing wrong. She being cool, she cute, she treating you nice, and you still not giving her that shit back, she could be like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Am I not being thotty enough? Am I not showing enough ass? Am I not moving fast? And now she got to question that. So now her next relationship or the next person she meet with, she might be on some, man, I got to just do whatever to please him. That's not. So it's important for men to be able to, and I'm not saying they got to go directly to the person, but it's good to have conversations where, and it's also to talk to other young men of being like, hey, you're going to be young, you're going to be dumb, but don't be out here dogging nobody. And that's why I had to emphasize, I ain't dog nobody. I wasn't in a relationship with the girl cheating on her or anything like that. But
that when shit I think is not back, cool at the end of the day.
As a 16-year-old, she didn't do anything wrong. I just literally didn't want a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But at 16, you think I went and told her, hey, you ain't doing nothing wrong? I was probably just blowing off. Like, man, I ain't trying to do that shit. I ain't trying to go on no fucking date. I'm trying to chill with my homies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take you on no date and be lovey-dovey. That's just not what you on as a 16-year-old man. But I don't think girls are wrong for wanting that, wanting to
No.
be that, or wanting to have that. And like I said, I don't know how it affected her. You know what I'm saying? I've seen her on social media throughout the years, but she looked cool. She wasn't bothered. She was in a relationship or whatever. She ain't give a fuck. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? That shit is lame. But you don't realize that it's lame until you become a grown man.
Yeah.
You don't.
And then you're going to have a daughter, because now I'm looking at little Ari, and I'm like, damn, at some point she's going to be dating and have a crush on a boy. And that boy may just be a young boy who's not necessarily looking for a girlfriend or looking for a good woman. And then you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, or I might have a son. And eventually I have to tell my son, like, okay, you're going to be a boy because boys are boys. But I also don't want my son dogging girls.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you balance all of this shit together? Because a boy needs to be a boy. You shouldn't be 16 talking about, man, I'm looking for a wife. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You can't be having other young girls feeling bad about themselves or thinking what they did wrong when they didn't do nothing wrong to begin with.
Yeah.
I think that's this is me trying to be philosophical. I feel like that started at like a young age, where you kind of like watch your parents and how they love each other and how they type of have their relationship. I feel like that goes a long way.
Yeah, I think two-parent
That's
homes
true.
definitely do like fix a lot of issues. Because like if you just grew up with one, like
You're gonna seek
Yeah.
one of that type of like what you would get from a mom or dad. You're gonna
Yeah.
seek that from somebody else.
because like even though women they can raise men, but they also can't teach a young man everything that like a father can. Because we went
Vice versa.
Yeah,
I can't raise something. If Dana just left and it's just me and Ari, I can't do her hair,
Yeah.
or makeup.
you can't teach everything that a woman could teach her.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like we all need those things growing up. I think I liked it, but like my mom did a good job of teaching me certain shit and making sure I did know certain things. So like,
Yeah. I think what Mike says head on.
Yeah.
I don't, from an emotional standpoint, I don't know anything about emotion, but what I will say is when I was a young kid, when I was like 6, like I'm talking about young as hell, before I think I had this in my mind before I even was like looking at girls to be with girls. I knew I wanted to have a family. And what I mean by having a family is my parents wasn't together. When my parents were together, I was a young kid, so I don't have memories of it. But by the time I was in first grade, second grade getting memories, my dad was married to somebody else, and so was my mom. So I never seen my parents together. But I always like, damn, what would it be like if my parents... So I always was like, what would it be like if my parents was in a 2-parent household with me? Like if my parents was together.
yeah,
I feel
So
like
growing up, I always told myself, I am going to take my time, do shit right, and I'm going to have a family where I'm in my kid's life every day, because my dad only got to see me on the weekend. I don't know what it's like for my dad to take me to school or to come to a parent-teacher conference. He came to basketball games, but if something happened at school, I couldn't call my dad and be like, man, come to the school. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I wanted to have that for my kids. So my entire life, I'm like, man, I'm not out here risky bisky having kids all over the place. Nah, I never wanted to pick my kid up for the weekend because I was a kid who had to go see his dad on the weekend
Yeah.
or in the summer or on spring break.
you use like your own life experiences like motivation to make sure you correct that.
And I remember having that in my mind at a really, really early age before I was even, like I said, before I was even looking at girls like, oh, I want to date this girl. That's a girl I'm attracted to. Because, you know, that's like 9 or 10. But anything before that, you just running around playing football. Like
Yeah,
you say,
yeah.
you're not chasing after girls. You might be like, she's pretty, but you ain't like, that's my girl.
You don't really start getting your like first crush and shit until like maybe like 4th, 5th grade, shit like that.
I was a little early. I think maybe 3rd grade. I was like
Okay.
9 years old.
Yeah, no, I actually, when I lived in the city, I did have a crush on a girl that didn't go to our school. She lived across the street. She would always be like by to herself
you was
because
one of those. You had a girlfriend, but she went to the other school.
she didn't go to our locals. She didn't go to the school in the city. She went to like a nice little private school or some shit, and like I was like really attracted to her.
You think it's anything that you developed or picked up from being in a 2-parent household? Because I think you're the only one on our panel. KB, his parents was together for a little bit amount of
Flashlight
time.
on.
You grew up like
Yeah.
me, where your mom married somebody else.
Yeah.
My mom married somebody else, and I seen my mom get a divorce. And I've been in 2-parent households where I had a step parent. I've had a single mom. My dad is married, so I've seen a lot of different shit. But directly in my house, I didn't have the man who made me and the woman who made me be in one roof with me. at a certain age. I was probably fucking crawling when it was.
I don't know if this shit correlates. I feel like it does a little bit, but I feel like personally, I just suck at leaving a bad situation, or if a situation is not good for me, it could be like a relationship or anything. It could be a friendship. I feel like I suck at just leaving it alone.
You want to end on good terms?
Yeah, it's always like that, and I feel like I kind of got that from my parents, and it's a different type of like situation. But I feel like growing up, they always, especially when I was real young, they always used to always like fight all the time, and it'd be my dad. My dad would be like, "Fuck it, I'm gone. Like I'm leaving. Like some type shit." But it'd be like 2 days later, and it's like everything is back to normal type shit. And I feel like that was a constant thing that kept happening to the point where it's like they just back at it again. It's gonna be good in 2 days. That's why I don't live with my sister no more, but I know she probably might experience that shit going up. I want to tell her, like, you ain't gotta worry about shit. Them motherfuckers do that shit every other weekend. So I think
that's also normal, just like living with each other for like 10 plus years or whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna fight. Fighting is inevitable. Once you start getting time in, arguments are gonna happen.
I'm like that too. But like in the relationship, like I remember when me and Dana was first starting to date, back when I lived with my mom, we'll get into it or something, have an argument. And like when she leave though, I'll act like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, she used to say like, why you act like we, you know what I'm saying? Cause she'll want to storm out of the house and go, and I'll still be like, I'm finna walk you to the car. I used to tell her, no matter what, when you gotta leave or we going, I'm still finna, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm still finna do the same things I'm doing. We arguing, we having a little argument, but that don't mean I'm just finna be like, fuck you. I still want you to text when you get home. Like I still care that you're getting home.
I don't want no shit to kind of like fuck me over because I did some shit when I was mad. You know, because you just do dumb shit or you say the wrong things when you know you're angry.
Nothing that we arguing. My point is to her was nothing that we arguing about gonna make me not care.
Yeah,
right? It's just a little argument, but it ain't like on some oh, fuck you. Like nah, it's like we argue, but get home safe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't that damn deep for me.
I still say goodnight even if we not on good terms. Like that shit is just normal to me. I'ma still care.
You seen that post? It was like we promised not to go to bed mad at each other. We've been up since like Sunday.
Oh yeah.
It was like Wednesday or some shit.
That's crazy. So they just staying up.
They promised they won't go to sleep mad at each other.
Yeah, I saw like a couple say that part of their relationship was that they will always still kiss each other goodnight and shit. They will still always like check up on each other when they even on bad terms. The same shit that they made them good, they're still gonna do it. So like I think that's essential for a relationship to last. Because there's always on some fuck you shit when we mad. During those times that y'all mad, shit can happen. Motherfuckers can feel disconnected from you and stuff. So you gotta
make shit that you can't take back gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. I try not to say nothing crazy because I never want to say something that I can't take back.
And saying something crazy, that's never been in my MO, but I've definitely been with people who do say shit crazy when they get upset.
Mm-hmm. That shit is tough to come back from on either side. Because you say something too far on me, now I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna look at you different. Like, damn, that's how you really feel.
Yeah, because it's a different light on somebody when you feel like you were kind of like in some shit that you can have like a normal argument or nothing, and that got to go to that extra level because they trying to hurt you at that point if they're going deep or if they digging deep.
And for me, that's different with your significant other. Mm-hmm. My homies, I've gotten into it with my homies where I'm like, that's why I'm trying to think of a fake name.
I know so many names. I thought you would be like, that's why Carol cheated on you. I was like, damn,
that's why Vanessa, you couldn't give Vanessa a number. You go ugly ass. I've done that with my homies before. You know what I'm saying? Because we homies. But with my significant other who, you know, we going to create a life together, be buried next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna be like, that's why you don't like the way your butt look. Or that's why you gained 7 pounds.
That's fucked up.
Like, cause that's the type of shit that girls be thinking of. Did I gain this? Did my butt look big? So if you say that, you know you're trying to hurt them because you've heard them say those things before. But with your homie, our shit is way looser with my homie. That's why your ass garbage. You got dunked on. Fuck you talking about?
It's like, oh shit. Bro, what's Ontario told Sean? He said they playing 1-on-1. He said, you hit rim, you win. You know how disrespectful that? He didn't say you made this shot. He said you hit rim.
You know what's crazy?
Sean airball. Sean hit like all backboard or some shit.
Bro, he didn't hit rim, bro. He did not hit rim. We got to have another hoop session like that. That's toxic. That's again hitting below the belt with your homie. But it's just like when it's with your homie, I guess as men with homies, we just got thicker skin when it comes to each other. It's something y'all would say to me probably won't be shit, but if Dana said it, it'd probably be like, ooh, you just punched me. Ouch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you could tell how a person's character, if y'all do split up, how they respond. Mm-hmm. Like that shit is also big too. Because if they respond in a negative way, you now realize.
I tell people that all the time, that's the immaturest thing.
Yeah.
I see couples, it's especially on Facebook, like they break up. Man, that's why your dick was little. You were just with him for 8 years. It never was a problem. Now the first day y'all broke up, now he just.
Or like it feels good to finally have someone make me come or some shit like that. Like that type of shit is
that's
crazy.
wild.
Like no, I'm just thinking of
That
like
shit
toxic
sounded
shit that
oddly
people say.
specific,
No.
didn't it?
No, it didn't.
Woo-wee!
Y'all crazy.
Jesus Christ.
That was not specific.
Oh my God.
That was specific, wasn't it?
That just
I ain't gonna lie, I'm
came
not saying it was, but it felt.
It just
It
came
felt
out of
like-
nowhere, bro.
Oh.
It
Y'all
came
heard
out of
it.
left
Y'all
field, bro.
Y'all have all seen when a motherfucker break up, they say something about the
They
other
say the
person's
wildest
body
things.
part. It was little, or her shit stink.
That's why your titties was uneven.
Yeah, some shit. But
Y'all
that one
crazy.
sounded crazy.
No,
That
that
wasn't
was
even-
insane.
That was just a random thought.
That was the random thought you had?
Yeah. When he said that, that was something that I thought about.
That shit true.
Shit. But yeah, I feel you though. They try to say something about each other that's just like, if that was big of a problem, y'all wouldn't have dated for 5 years. If his breath stank, you crazy for dating him for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's why you ain't got no money. You broke. You was just with him for 7 years.
So y'all was broke together?
You was broke with him. Him being broke when he first, all them years didn't matter. So what is
And it'd be funny, it'd be the people saying that who ain't doing that much better than the other person.
They
They
be
on the same
unemployed.
page.
Because you know what? Misery loves fucking company.
misery does love company?
Yeah.
How long we been going?
Y'all have officially made it to the
2
fifth
hours.
episode in a row where y'all have made it to 2 hours.
2 hours. A lot of good conversation. I do want to talk about one more thing before we wrap up and get up out of here because it has been a long time. but
I'll
we had
save whatever questions because I did
Bet.
I did it kind of late too. So I'll say whatever question for the next episode.
A lot of these conversations I didn't know what was going to happen. They did. I'm glad that they happened. This all started with you saying that somebody was saying that through the wire,
Only
cats
they
don't
white
like,
women.
yeah, only they white women.
Hold on, no. I am gonna say one of them questions that I got. I was looking through them. Tell me why Jalen posted a question.
Jalen? What did
He's
say?
talking about ASP while Lowry dominated in the finals or some shit like that.
Oh, he dominated because, man, 2K is just, it's a video game. You can manipulate it. So
He had him at small forward.
Jalen puts Lowry at the small forward
Yeah.
when his teammate is Michael Porter Jr. So anybody with a basketball mind know
Would put Lowry at the
realistically,
4.
Lowry is the 4 in that lineup. But because I'm a nice commissioner who not lame, I ain't police everything. People was bringing it to my attention and saying, and I'm like, it's so much going on in the league. The last thing I want to do is now be telling him he can't run him. And I'm just like,
Like,
let
he
him
also got BI at the 2.
run. BI at the 2. So
Talking about BI played.
He
Herb
dominated.
Jones day 2.
he dominated because he ran with an ultra big lineup to manipulate 2K, and all he did after I bust his ass the first 2 games and beat him by dubs that simulated into 40-point wins. His then new method was, I'ma just
Control the
post
paint.
up.
Yeah.
Because
They
I
gotta fix
I
that
started
shit,
Seth
bro.
Curry. Yeah. I mean, I gave him credit. He was a champion. He won. I'm not taking that away. He won. But it's certain shit for me that I'm not doing in the game.
Bro, bring
And
back.
then it changed. It made me have to change my lineup. So then I put Drummond in at the 5. I put Chet at the 4. I don't even like playing like that. That's so
Yeah.
lame and stupid. That fucked my whole shit up.
I played him once and that shit was annoying.
But yeah, that's why
Lowry
he
at the 3
manipulated
is-
the game.
Bring
OC.
back the old 2K with that size shit. It mattered, but it didn't matter like that. I remember you could run Todd Lawson.
Yeah.
5'10".
Oh, and just so
Killer.
I can beat him to his comeback, because I was saying that in the Discord, and he was saying, if I was just doing that, why I shot more threes? You shot more threes because
You was
when
sending a
Lowry is posting up Seth Curry,
to
I
help.
have to send a double, and that double leaves somebody open on the perimeter, and you threw it and shot a 3. But the next league in 2K24, because it's always a lane. It's always a lane. We might have to do position lock. We might have to.
because it be people.
But there's people that play multiple positions too.
I mean, they're
they-
not gonna have one lock.
they
It's
line
just-
up
you just gonna
and
have 2. They might have 2 positions.
They
They might
line
have to be
up-
realistic positions.
Yeah, they line up. I have to get approved.
Ain't nobody getting Scotty Barnes.
Because Laurie does play 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But Larry wouldn't play 3 if he played with Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. would be the 3.
Yeah.
When we had Busy in the last league, Busy had Giannis and he had Chet. He didn't put Chet at the 5. He put Giannis at the 5 and he put Chet at the 4. So it's just little manipulation things that people do. The Ben Simmons, Detroit J, he's not as good. He done tried to put Ben at the 5. He done had Ben at the 1, Ben at the fucking 4. He done tried to put Ben everywhere he can to get an advantage. Put him at the 1. Then when you put him at the 1, you beat the point guard, so now the help is there at the rim, so he can't really get his shit off. Then he said, okay, I'm going to put him at the 5, so now he's being guarded by Azubuike, who is your center. So Ben just going around Azubuike, just ducking. Ain't no help behind him. They just looking for any little loophole that they can have and take advantage of. And it's just like,
I've never looked at my lineup to try to manipulate it that way. I just put guys in a normal position.
that's just that's my team shit.
Also, probably don't have an OP player where I could put him in a position.
And like I told Jalen, he lame for doing it, but I can't even really be mad at him more as much as I'm mad at 2K because, yeah, like Mike said, size matters, but not how to. Because I'm taller, don't mean I can automatically drop step and move somebody out the way. They let anybody just post up and drop step. Yeah. I understand Seth Curry is smaller than fucking
Larry Marketing.
B.I.
Bro, it'd be like
I've never seen B.I. drop step, move somebody and lay it out. He just is not his game. Michael Porter Jr. backing down, moving motherfuckers and laying up because he got 2 inches taller. That shit is not. Now, when Jalen was getting switches with like pick and roll and Jalen Duren was being then switched on to Seth Curry, everybody does that. Your center is guarded by a little guy. Take advantage of it. But like to say that that's your offensive scheme to just try to purposely get Larry Marketing on smaller people and post them up.
I always look for the guard who doesn't defend well.
And you just go at him, right?
Go at him.
That's one thing versus just like posting up.
Whoever had Kyrie, I was just hunting Kyrie the other day. Like I was just making with Ant or either Harrison, whoever he tried to put him on.
You heard him say Harrison Barnes. We played him yesterday. Harrison Barnes at a 21 without the simulation.
So with the sim, he probably had that in there 40.
Yeah,
because Mike
he was 7 for 9 from 3 or something.
I told you he got that shot down.
Mike was just like, I'm just gonna leave him open.
He had like
you used to be that bad, but you could do that. But Darrick know his shots now.
No, what killed him yesterday was them turnovers, bro. He kept turning the ball.
You was playing I don't even know how to explain. Bro, like you damn near are playing off ball, but like
no, listen. So he'll be going down the court, right? He got his PG going down court. It'd be like Anthony Edwards or Drew Holiday. He would beat me as I'm guarding him on ball, and he would see the computer would go help.
And you would click over.
I wouldn't even click over. I would just say like I'm on Tyrese Maxey. As soon as he beat me, I just ran to whoever helped
to
replace him, and he just kept on the ball. We kept getting like those little steals.
And I was just like, fuck.
I was like, bro, it's eventually you got to stop throwing that pass. Like, it's not open.
But it looked like it's open. So, like,
that's the type of shit you got to do. I don't consider that off ball because you're still playing D and you're just running to the help. So he anticipating. If
that
you're
pass,
good at anticipating, then you can do that without it being off balling. People who aren't good at anticipation, that's off balling because they're trying to run to a corner and I didn't even throw it. Now, look, you playing off ball. You ain't guard nobody because he ain't got the ball. But if you can see where the ball going and click over and boom, I'm here. I'm already there. Or I'm gonna just naturally go over there.
I love when people think they finna like, so say somebody catches the ball at the wing or like in the corner, they think they finna make the extra pass. Like I'm finna go close out. I just be running to the other person and they'll make the extra pass like without even thinking about it.
So he open in the corner, he throw it. You act like you finna run to contest that corner shot, but he gonna try to throw it to wing, but you really jump that wing. Yeah, that is good. Yeah.
That happens to me a lot.
That's the shit on my team where you gonna really get mad because everybody in my team is gonna have interceptor.
It's like A and X, I think.
Yep, together.
That's gonna help a lot, especially with you.
It's hard to remember. Niggas in zone, that shit helps a lot.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Last thing I wanted to wrap this shit up with the wedding. We got to speak about the wedding. Every time I stream, is people asking how was the wedding. I know we had a bunch of fun. Thoughts as groomsmen? We were in the wedding.
That's my second wedding I've been to. Technically third. The first wedding I went to was like my parents, but I was a baby. I was like Avery, so that shit really don't matter. But no, that was the best wedding I went to, hands down. And it was also just like personal because it's KB.
Yeah,
you know,
it was just fun to have everybody in a group setting. We all had fun. The night before, we went to Topgolf, chill after the rehearsal, and so like it was all just like one really fun weekend. And like, You got the drink. The open bar was amazing. They had whatever you wanted. They could make that shit up. I had mimosas, tequila
Them
with
cigars is
lemonade.
nasty as hell, bro.
They were.
I can't do that cigar.
I liked
shit.
it. I thought
I liked
I didn't
it.
think they tasted bad.
Yeah, I liked it.
I feel like that shit was hurting my damn stomach.
What was you? Why
Was
was
you
you inhaling it?
I felt like my shit wasn't even light, so I had to try to get it to inhale first, and then once I finally got a little bit, it was just like
You was hitting
It was-
that joint like a blunt. That's your problem.
Yeah, you supposed to do a mouth pull, not a throat pull.
Pause.
my shit
throat
wouldn't even
pull is
stay
crazy.
low. A throat pull.
Yeah, but you don't. It don't have to be burning like a blunt though, because you just. Well, yeah, it should burn
It
like a
should be
blunt.
burning.
Yeah,
So it's just like. That's why I like them, because I'm not an inhaler. So I just.
Caleb had his. He was chiefing his shit, bro.
I
he should got all the way down to
Darrick
the-
shit was like this much of ash. Nigga was like, "Dang, it's ash or shit."
yeah, I didn't, because I felt like if I would have asked shit, the ember would have fell out, but it didn't. Because sometimes when you smoking like joints or a blunt, if you try to ash it, the ember will fall out. Then you got to relight it.
That's because you rolled it bad.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
No, it was fun, bro. I
Yeah.
love the open bar. Like Mike said, it's just like personal.
And the music was great all night.
The whole crew was there. The whole crew plus they girls. Me and KB family was there. So like my auntie, my grandma, our cousins.
Your dad is your dad. Like, I know that might sound crazy, but like
That made
literal.
so much sense though.
it made so much sense. Y'all are like identical when it comes to like even like personality. The first interaction I had with him was like, "Hey, D Mills, what's going on, man, with that tight ass suit?" And I was like,
Oh, no, he crazy.
I was like,
He
if
is
that's not a Pierre interaction with you, that's to a T of how he would approach you.
He his daddy's son.
Yeah,
That's
like,
crazy.
y'all
He said that in the wedding or at the reception?
at the reception.
Oh, okay.
Like that was our first interaction, and I was like,
The whole night, people kept coming up to me like, "Man, your dad is a character. Your dad is crazy." Mike's girl, Mike and his girl were going to the bathroom when I was walking out, and she was like, "Pierre, your dad, he's something else." And I'm like, I caught him saying something to Mike's girl, and I'm like, "Pops, we just met her, so don't be saying nothing crazy." You know what I'm saying? He over there talking to
Bro,
her.
you know, I told her, I was like, because she was asking about you. I was like, when you probably meet Pierre, he gonna be like, "Oh, this so and so." Like, it's not gonna be your name.
Oh, my dad.
and that's
did it.
immediately what your dad did. He had called her like fucking Sabrina or some shit.
Yeah, he love that weak ass joke. That's where I get it from. But that's when I told him, I'm like, "Pop, we just met her." So that whole is this Tiffany, right? That joke ain't gonna work because this is like, nah, man.
What did he call her? Did he call
Sabrina.
her? Oh, he called her Sabrina?
Yeah, he's like, "This Sabrina, right?"
Did she get upset?
He's like, "Nah, I'm just kidding."
I walked Dan into the car. He out talking to Josie,
What?
just like having a legit. I walked Dan into the car. All right, sweetheart, get home. Let me know when you text me. All right, give me kiss. Bye. I'm walking slow, walking back. They still talking. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Who else was he talking to?
I just know
he never
said
did.
I play like deep book.
He never did that random girl thing to Angie. He hasn't done that to her yet.
Has he met her?
Yeah, he met her at the wedding, but
Oh,
he didn't
okay.
do that.
Okay. He was doing a shit with Tyler that I didn't even know about because we was at the wedding. The little fan, Tyler got
Yeah.
one for Jules, and apparently my dad was like, "Hey, that's mine." And Tyler was like, "Oh well, my lady needed it," or some shit like that. And Dana said that my dad whispered but said it loud. "I'm gonna have my son whip your ass." I'm like, this motherfucker here, bro. This motherfucker here. He just called me too. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, y'all. I could see where you get your personality from him.
Then he was trying to get a cigar from Tyler.
Ooh, I can't wait to KB get back because I feel like KB dad was also a character at the little wedding.
Bro, KB dad said something and laughed, and Mike looked at me and laughed.
Bro, because he had that same type of laugh. We always been kind of trying to mock over the years.
I'm like, Mike, don't look at me, Mike, because I'm going to die crying, bro. He say,
he slid that joke in there too.
I'm like right here, and I just see Mike look at me and start laughing. I'm like, I'm not even finna look at your ass right now because I'm finna cry.
A funny thing that happened at our table was that like the waiters, how they was bringing the food. They had came back. One dude came back and said, "Y'all want anything else?" Kyron was like, "Yeah." we need 3 more plates of everything.
That shit is crazy.
He need all 3 back, and he brought all 3 plates.
Y'all fucked that shit up.
Everybody ate it.
They didn't even ask our table.
They didn't ask y'all?
No.
Oh, damn.
Kyron funny. If anybody was not gonna have a white shirt, it was gonna be Kyron. And then he bogus too, because he got his white shirt. He couldn't even button it up all the way. So he got a tie on with the top button just hanging out loose as hell.
And it was funny because his suit jacket was wrinkled.
We had a steamer. We had an iron. He just up there vibing. He just booling.
He could have easily asked me for the steamer or asked for the iron.
I was literally steaming my shit. Caleb steamed this shit too. Kyron could have easily came in and just steamed while he was waiting on his shirt. Then Terrence said he tried to come rub the wrinkles off on me. Tell me, now you gonna be posting up like this.
That's funny when Kyron saw him putting on his shirt and said, that shirt came in your box.
He's like, because I'm thinking about how I'm gonna put it on. I'm thinking like, he gonna have to wear a tank top or some shit.
Tank top under his fucking shit, bro.
A tank top with a tie and a suit.
He is crazy, bro. He is crazy, bro.
Legit.
Well, I knew Terrence was saying somebody was gonna forget. Mason ass forgot everything. He forgot his shirt. He forgot face shoes.
Oh yeah.
Mason was like, "Oh, she gonna beat my ass." I'm like, "Oh hell no, boy. We gonna protect you." That was fun though, man. That was super fun. That shit was so fun. I remember laying in my bed the very next day, being like, "Man, I wish we had something to do tonight."
Did that liquid IV helped, right? It helped me too.
I was not hungover.
I was not hungover either.
I was a little tired, but I wasn't
hungover. I woke
and
up
the next day. I said, "I'm glad we ain't doing a podcast." I got me some Chick-fil-A breakfast. I streamed at 10 for like 6 hours. I was good.
Yeah, that liquid IV before you go out gonna be essential now.
One of the questions on that post was like, "Who got the drunkest at KB wedding?" Nobody got fucked up at all.
Mm-hmm. It's like a family wedding. Nobody was finna be. The person who did get the drunkest wasn't with us. It was one of them girls.
Yeah,
one of the girls.
Oh yeah,
I know. I know exactly.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
Yeah. But other than that, it was an incredible wedding. I almost started crying during the ceremony when Avery came down the aisle, and I look up at KB face wet. I'm like, he finna have me crying, this motherfucker. Hey, you take care of my daughter.
Yeah,
bro. Hell, mom.
I don't even know if he said that, but that's just what it looked like.
It did look like that's what he said.
That shit was funny, man. That shit was super hilarious.
It was a good drama-free night, just enjoying our time, fun. I honestly enjoy being in weddings. I didn't think I would enjoy it, but I did.
I loved all the pictures we took and shit too. The cigars and
we got a lot of good
and we haven't even received all the pictures yet.
Somebody just posted a picture on Twitter. It was like, it was you when you was like this, and they put this picture next to it. I'm gonna show you when we.
Yeah, show me. But we'll see you guys next episode. Will be Saturday. KB will be back.
If you haven't, make sure that you go on the ttwtour.com. We have the reservations still open for the Toronto show. It's going to be August 27th on a Sunday, 7 p.m. too. So make sure you check that out.
We seeing a number. This is by number.
One of the biggest show. The biggest show.
The biggest show of people who are RSVPing. So I would make sure you RSVP in a timely manner, but expect this to be the biggest, craziest show that we've done yet. And I'm not one of those people that's just trying. I'm not finna say that at every stop. Like, oh man,
yeah, we wouldn't tell you if the numbers weren't saying it.
Nah, based off the number. I'm not saying performance because we gonna put on the show everywhere we go. But based off the number of RSVPs that we've already gotten a chance to see, and the last time we was told the number was like a week ago. Because once we got to KB wedding, everything was shut off. Yeah, like I whatever was shut off. So it might be even more. So yeah, RSVP. We'll see y'all Saturday with the full gang. Hopefully
I get to go.
Go where?
Toronto.
Yeah, hopefully you do get to go. But hopefully we get some juicy information to talk about. If not, we finna have some non-basketball podcasts. We up here talking about relationships.
I talked about relationships for 50 minutes.
We ain't gonna do no live podcast. We just gonna have to do a live
Q&A.
Yeah. It's me and you. We can perform. Section.
Oh, we gotta go to the studio too.
I was just about to ask you about that too.
Bet. Hey, we out. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.